Hi,
everybody.
I'm drawing while we talk. Hi.
Yeah. So we're gonna be answering questions and stuff, right?
Answering questions, just talking about the campaign, I think was another one.
Mm-hmm. And I have some history things and stuff like that, but with her I can go over as well. Things that
we're just
what happened before stream. Yep.
All the chit chats.
So if you have questions that pop up, we'll be looking at chat to make sure we answer said questions.
Mm-hmm. And also remember that because we're affiliated now, you have like all of the point thingy-majiggers. So if you want your question highlighted, you can use that, and we will definitely see it when you do that. So
yeah, we still need to come up with point ideas.
Yeah, as campaign has shown, we are sometimes not the most observant. Yeah. So that highlight might help greatly.
I do have it right in front of me, so hopefully I will not miss questions.
Same.
I don't see why we would miss them now, because we're not trying to focus on the game.
Yeah.
That's also fair.
I am also watching the Fox draw because it's always so good.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I can start with some Wythra's backstory and all that wouldn't have been on stream. Well, the reason I wanted to create Wythra actually came from the game beforehand. The last game I ran was actually with Fox, and actually Quinn and Snook and such, and we all ran Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. We can stand
no one's ever gonna let that die.
No, and I love it.
So what you're saying, eventually we need a Shillelagh emote.
Oh god.
Like an emote of an actual, like, Irish Shillelagh.
That could be terrible for Twitch.
Jenga. Oh gosh.
Oh.
That's fair. So the group that I ran before, we ran in Faerun, technically. Or my version of it. And that went well, but then we had to end, and I wanted Dragon Fox still had the time to be able to do more, and that's when I asked Jay and Aspire here, so we had more than just 2 players, and I'm like, well, I want to do something more. I want to do I want something unique. I want something that is a combination of my own imagination and influences.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Wythra started becoming created. That is why I made my own deities that I named and such like that, and we've added in deities based on the players as well. I've also used a map maker to make my own map, make my own land, which was an interesting process to do.
That was fair.
And I thought that making the map was gonna be hard, but it wasn't all that hard with the map maker that I used. The hardest part was setting everything into motion, how the world would be. So that's where the original split happened. There's the Grenbrine land, the Bruning land, the Monchild land, the Thorndun, the Norstrongs, the Thorlands, and the Solwins. These nobles were the original families that founded this. That there was fights at first, but eventually it came to a agreement that each one should get a section. That was as long as they were happy with the session. It took a while. It took years, hundreds of years before everything was set into place. So then we had the Grenbrands, the human nobles. We have the Bruning, which is the gnome nobles, and they are the more like innovative center. The Thornduns are the dwarf nobles. They're in the desert, and they're the more. They actually live underneath the desert, technically. The Montchilds, which are the high elf nobles, which have been one of the more, I guess, prominent as well, especially as of late. Then there is the Northstones, which are tiefling nobles, which is actually they take place in the swamp and the porting set, like the ports and all that. That is where most of the ports come in. Is that section? So not all of them, but most. The Fallerlands, which are more dead center, they look human, but they're actually Aasimar nobles. And then the Solons are halfling nobles.
You just piqued Ronnie's interest right there.
I know.
Ronnie is intrigued.
The Farlands are actually the same place where Rinn's family exists in. Which I find quite interesting myself.
I'm sure that totally won't come up anytime soon.
However, when I first made the land, I added something different. I created a wasteland, which is no longer a wasteland. The wasteland was up to the north, above Tristad, above the Rimburn lands. And that was the corrupted lands, where the corruption pretty much existed. The corruption was dealt with our previous group that was not streamed. The previous group of that included Fox, Drag, and another individual. That group, which included Lilia, an NPC named Reggie, Aurora, and Zem and his companion, a younger silver dragon, went through many trials, and when their campaign ended by defeating the corruption, the after effects were more noticeable, mainly making the wastelands back into its forested and river-sought area becoming the new frontier. And that's one thing I wanted to constantly do in this, and even now we're doing the stream, I wanted the players here to see and know that things that they do will influence the world and others around them. Or if it's something major or something minor. One major thing that I can think of right at the top of my head is the opening of the gate that blocked the plane of Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, that gate.
Which had both influences on the world and the sun's effects on everyone, but also character sheet based influences by giving spellcasters an extra spell slot per level.
You know, we still have to figure out what special thing we get from that one sun.
Yep, this is true.
That'll be coming.
Oh no!
I've already figured it out, and I know exactly when it's coming. And I think that will be a surprise.
I'm guessing each character was a thing, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goody. I know we were talking about that at one point, but we never came back to it because you were still working it out, so...
I may have also messaged him one day asking about it.
Yeah. That's actually something that I realized needed something more. Need something else unlocked. And when I figured out what that was, well, it'll be something to look forward to when it comes up.
Oh dear.
And it will come up.
Oh dear.
I appreciate that, Huffle.
And then you have us.
The
Who just
wonderful
ruin
group.
the world half the time.
Honestly, he set us loose on this amazingly perfectly crafted world, and we've just wreaked havoc on it. Like, I can't explain to you how bad we have screwed this up so many times.
It's wonderful.
See, we haven't screwed it up that badly yet.
Okay, pre-stream,
Elendar's still
we
a thing, so apparently it still exists at the moment.
yeah, like we've managed to make sure the world stays intact and everything like that. But like, let's be honest here. Like the pre-stream shenanigans we got up to, even the stuff that we've done on stream, it very well could have led to very, very nasty ends very quickly if it wasn't rolling really well.
Striker would have been dead so long ago. Like,
Oh, 100%.
down so easily.
There's a reason Rinn was so scared of him, man. He was a squishy boy.
He still is what he wants to be. Health-wise, he is.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that's coming up is Elendar.
Yee.
That world, I have still fleshing out fully because we haven't really, even before this one, I only fleshed it out enough to do what I needed to do for the arc that it needed to rerun. But if we're going to be our next planned campaign going more into Elendar, I'm going to need to focus on everything there. I know the aesthetics, and I know certain things about it. I'll go over that real quick as well, if that's one, until we get some more questions as well. I was thinking of a more kind of Oriental theme, I guess,
Ooh.
with a very high emphasis on metallic dragons
Yes.
that will literally live among the groups, among the city. But you see a blacksmith that walks behind his shop, a large gold dragon, and a flame. Hello, Bonsky. Party's going well.
Indeed.
If you have any questions about the characters or the Wythra campaign so far, or even before we got to streaming or whatnot, feel free to ask it, because this is what we're doing tonight. We're just kind of chilling, and Fluffy's giving us all the lore.
Speaking of which, the character I'm drawing actually is who I'm bringing into Elendar.
Exactly.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
I haven't
She
emoted
is.
before.
She's a special person.
She's my employee.
Yes, very special.
I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. Fluffy, I was informed about everybody's alignments for the next campaign for Elendar.
Yeah, she was. We asked her if she was good, and yeah.
and I was like, I think she's a good aligned, and they're like, oh, we're sorry.
You know, any consolation, my backup's good.
Your backup's Clair, I would hope so.
If it's any consolation, I don't have a backup yet.
I technically have a backup. Fox technically has a backup. Like
Frost
the only
and Faye, I think were the two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm bringing in Faye because, dear Lord, I want to play that girl so bad. It's gonna be way too much fun.
Oh wait, I take it back. I technically do have backups.
Yeah.
I have like several NPCs I could just grab and pull into the campaign.
But this is all assuming that we don't destroy the world. And
That is a very good assumption. That is a hope.
And assuming that the kids survive, like, they don't die somewhere in their teens, like...
I don't want to talk about it with Ethan.
Look, Ethan has
story.
his own troubles to worry about, okay?
But that is the thing. It is... I have no doubt, the next campaign will be even better than this one. And this one has already been so wonderful.
You say that, look who your players are. I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm looking at my players, and that's why I'm saying it.
Aww.
Wait, you're looking at us? Hold on. How are you seeing
Wait a minute,
us?
where's the camera?
Hey, hold on. We knew he had cameras.
You might
Where
want
are
to pick that up, Fox.
Oh. You know what's really bad is I actually did knock something off my desk like a few seconds ago. Back up to Landar's Freddy.
Oh, that's right. Huffle in chat
God.
says my backup for Landar is Freddy, so if Huffle ever does not continue, you guys get a glorious tiefling ranger gunslinger. Huffle and I have talked about Freddy before, and Freddy is the son of...
Isn't that the one that we met in Echoes?
Echo.
Is she still
Yes,
playing that
it
one in
is.
Echoes when we do get that
Yes.
one? Because we
Yes,
are
I
going to
believe
continue
so.
that eventually.
Yes, we will.
I believe
Which,
so, unless
as a
she
fun
has another plan
fact,
for it.
here is Zaf. I did a sketch for Zaf here. I don't know how well you guys can see it, if I can get my mouse to cooperate. There we go.
You know.
And then I did the kind of a funky sketch. It's really messed up, but it's Sylvia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
dig
still
it.
really hoping I can get her flushed out to where she needs to be by then.
Yeah, you got some time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh, that
know,
lovely
if I
boy.
get stuck in the I have time mentality, it'll be literally the last hour. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh fuck!
This is fair.
You have a party that is willing to help you with story stuff should you need it, Drag.
Well, Huffle, I'm not gonna say there's no hope for Freddy. But you have to make him a swinger then.
Yeah.
I am actually very, very intrigued by the character I brought into Echoes, only because I've never played a psycho barbarian
I love
before.
I love her
And
so
okay,
much.
backstory to the reason I created that child is actually you can thank Fox for that, because we have had multiple conversations on so many fronts where we'll be playing like Dead by Daylight or something like that, and I will be killer, which is a rarity, I have to say, because I suck at it. But when I'm playing with these guys, it's super fun. They troll me all the time. They enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's a good time.
I typically die because of it.
It's
Yeah.
true.
But it's because we care.
But I get into a certain voice because everybody has a certain like teasing voice when they're playing killer and everything like that. Fluffy's got one, Fox has got one, even Drag and Jay have their own. So I drop into this like almost childlike, let's play a game voice, and Fox is just like, that is the creepiest voice I've ever heard you use.
It is.
And you have to use it for a character. I'm like, well, I've never played a murder character before, and she's like, if you do, use this voice. Then we needed characters for the one shot that Jay was doing, because we had some people out and whatnot, and so we were like, okay, last minute character creation, go! And therefore, that's because the murder child got born. So,
The murder child.
because I was like, if I'm going to create an impromptu character, I'm going to bring this voice in because it's just, I have to. And so, she's here, and she's here to stay, I guess. She almost bit the dust. She almost bit the dust in Echoes.
It's fine.
You know, to be fair, like, we was just like, hey, suddenly Satan, let's do this. Well, not Satan, but...
Yeah,
What's her
yeah,
name?
yeah.
Most Satan. One
Close
of the
enough.
9 Satans. One of the 9.
Yeah...
I have something.
What's up, Fluff?
because this was something from the campaign that predated this Wythra one.
Mm-hmm.
The original items that the group had to find and destroy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go over exactly what they do and what they look like.
Boy.
And their names. Maddening Wrath. Binds, because he's all bound to their person. It was currently bound to Rhea Hargrove. Sister to Lilia Hargrove. A silver ornate necklace grants the user the ability to ignore any physical object with a weapon attack, including armor and shields. Heals the user for 3d10 to start a turn even if dead. Minimum damage is 1d10. Has a permanent grin and attacks anyone they can see. Has an ability called Lambs to the Slaughter. Ability to lure people within 60 feet to recharges upon a long rest. Possessed by a spectre resembling a grey cloak. Vengeful Pride. Binds. Currently dormant. Or at least it was, during when I wrote this notes, of course. Inside Lilia Hargrove.
Yeah.
Ornate Rapier. Grants the ability to select the spell Zephyr Strike. Prideful Fury. Any spell that would deal damage to the user is negated completely and sent back within a 30-foot cone in front of the user. 3d6 slashing. And the damage the spell would do, but half as much on a successful dex save. DC 16. Recharges on a long rest.
Really fun when you're staring face first at a frigging disintegrate, by the by.
Oh dear.
Gains the flaw. I must be perfection in all forms. Possessed by a spectre resembling a green cloak. Horrid Sloth. Binds. I do not have who it was bound to anymore, so I must have deleted that when they became fixed. Cloak made of tattered black material can enter the dreams of sleeping creatures. Vivid Nightmare. Target one wake creature and all creatures around it, including allies, appear as horrifying monsters, and the creature is compelled to attack the nearest one. Lasts 8 hours. Wisdom saving throw, DC 16.
Yeah, I remember this one. It was bound to an old lady in a...
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where it was. Was it... No. Not Deus Duck, that's fucking Landar. Brain? I want to say it was, like, in Mirk.
I think so.
Why is it always Mirk?
Because...
it's not a fun place.
No.
Was that also the mission we went out where we happened to discover an altar to a thing we didn't deal with?
Yep.
You mean the thing that we dealt with? Did we have to deal with that? Because I feel like we had to deal with that.
Well, that wasn't in Mirk then. That was let me pull my picture for that. That would have been in that would have been in Mirk, which is actually not in the swamp, but that's the mining town near the mountains in the Fallen Lands.
Oh,
Just
goody.
south of Yoram.
Okay. That's a problem.
It does have one effect called all rests are filled with fiendish nightmares that you can't wake from your whole rest, making a wisdom saving throw or gain a point of exhaustion.
Oh my.
Possessed by a spectre that resembles a black cloak. Lustful Wench. Binds. It was inert. Once after this. Lover Choker. Charming presence that you have advantage on all charisma checks except for intimidation. Kiss of Death. Once per long rest, you can kiss a humanoid target, dealing 4d10 necrotic and heal for that amount.
Whoa.
So essentially a beefed life transference.
Pretty much.
Oh fuck.
Only the seducing kind.
Yeah.
You flirt with humanoids regardless of race or gender, and you must choose one a day to be closer to, or take a point of exhaustion and take 5d12 psychic damage. Because death does not count. Possessed by a spectre resembling a pink cloak.
Oh dear.
Kind of a
And
whole...
that almost went to our sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rending Envy. Binds. greatsword, a blade made of pure emerald.
Oh.
When you are hit with a crit, you can attack back with advantage as a reaction. Jealous Prophets. This is again once per rest. You can see the stats of a creature, AC or current HP, and choose one to trade one of those stats with your own. You gain their AC or current HP, and they gain yours.
Oh, see, that'd be broken. You're down to like 5 HP. They have like 100 something. Oh, fuck.
We were in the water plane when we found this one, didn't we?
I think so.
Dude, I remember that one. That is one.
That's how we
Isn't
met.
that the one where
her
literally?
father.
Yeah, if I remember right, though, that's also the one where Lilia literally one-shot the person who was wielding it.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, you gain random target of envy, and you must attempt to kill them. Possessed by a spectre resembling purple robes.
Hmm.
You know, I am slightly bummed we never got to see that in action fully.
I'm not. Look, this was the
Don't
7
tempt
Deadly
fate.
Sins theme. I didn't like it.
Consuming Gluttony. Oh, I remember this one.
Oh.
I still have
Oh, yeah.
currently bound to Victor Thurl, half-elf. A white quarterstaff with a red crystal heart with quote-unquote veins that run down a pulsing of energy. Any spell that deals damage heals the user for half a damage dealt when they cast a spell, basically. Ravenous Horde. Create up to 20 Ravenous spawns. Use of the Spawn of Cayuse stats, page 192 of Fool's Guide. As long as you have bodies. These do not despawn, recharges on the long rest. You gain a ravenous need to consume meat, even if the meat is the flesh of other races, humans, dwarves, elves, etc., and you cannot gain weight, you look malnourished.
Oh dear.
Possessed by a spectre resembling a red cloak. Golden Greed. An ornate gold ring. You can turn any coin you wish into a gold coin. Midas Breath. You rip 15-foot cone, and all creatures must make a constitution saving throw DC 16, or start being petrified into pure gold. 2 failures means paralyzed, while 3 means petrified. Repeating the saving throws any turn until 3 successes or 3 failures. Recharges on long rest can be cured of anything that removes petrification. You must collect any gold or strong items and hoard it to yourself. Possessed by some spectre resembling gold cloak. And here's a extra little thing on the bottom. All items will eventually take over the user, unless the user possesses a strong enough counter trait, which allows them to use the item with no negatives, but it will be slightly weaker. If the user's will is fully taken over, the item's long rest can be recharged on a 5d6 instead of a roll of 5 or 6 on a d6 as opposed to a long rest. So they get stronger if they take you over.
Yeah. No, those weren't fun.
Yeah,
Sounds like fun.
That definitely does not sound like a good time, fam.
Yeah,
It does sound like a good time.
considering this, one of our players had this literally since their teens.
You know?
That sounds like fun.
Oh, just that pride thing? Yeah, funny thing about Lilia,
Mhm.
she was not a prideful person. I don't know why I say funny thing, this is just like a factual statement, but you know what I mean.
That is fun.
Yeah, that was... that was one hell of a surprise with that, by the by.
Yeah.
Speaking of surprises, what about Aurora's surprise?
Which one was that again?
The her based on her one trait that you wanted to have something toward with the memory altering with Bryce.
Yeah. She still is iffy about Bryce.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, Bryce was the quote unquote head of the temple. He wanted her blood. essentially. So what he would do is he would take blood, heal, and then use Modify Memory and erase any memory of it. Making her into basically a very devout follower of Lighttoon.
Mm-hmm.
And the party, after going back, discovered a few things. Mostly her being going through this process and they managed to stop it. But also the fact that he, while she was gone, in order to attempt to keep doing this, made clones of her. Several clones. All in various test tubes.
Yeah, I still don't think she actually knows that that was a thing. I don't think anyone ever told her.
No.
Lily, I never had the heart for that.
That's fair.
Reggie definitely didn't. What did you? Because you guys, I believe your reaction was to just destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an experience.
Do you have any questions from chat or from the players to me, or questions from chat to the players or to me?
Yeah, what hell do you have next? No, I'm kidding.
I'll on.
Look,
When do
we're
we
level
kill Vecna?
19 now. We're in the thick of it at this point. It's gonna be super sucky.
I have an important question.
Mm.
When does Vecna die?
Spoon.
Have a good night,
Sounds
Shuttle.
good.
Good night,
Night,
Shuttle.
Shuttle.
Go get some rest. Thanks for coming out, hun.
Oh, wow.
Spoon is an answer that's good.
We will have
like-
to see.
I don't
No, I like Drag's answer. Spoon.
Oh, okay. This is actually this is both a part Rinn, part me question. Is Vecna even an actual threat to us, or is this just a thing that got conjured to help distract us from what's really going on?
I mean, he is there. He is a threat. He
Okay.
does exist.
I don't
Well,
like that.
That is a very half answer, right?
We'll have to find out.
Threat.
I mean, yes, he exists. He's always a threat. That's how that felt. So
We'll just have to see.
I don't
How
like
that turns out.
he
Oh.
dies when I say so.
Sounds good. Say he dies
If
then.
it has stats and hit points, it can die.
This is true. This is very true.
So can we.
Exactly.
Yeah, this their
That's
line
that
problem. Oh man.
This is fine.
It's fine, guys. We're safe.
Do we want to talk about anything that happened pre-stream with our characters? Because there was some stuff that actually affected our characters that was not seen by everybody else. That we sometimes reference to when everybody's like, what?
That is fair.
Yeah, feel free.
Also, yes, awful. But does Vecna have kneecaps?
Vecna has kneecaps. He's a lich, not like... He has
Liches don't need
kneecaps.
legs.
Yes, he does!
They don't need
Your
legs.
stitches.
Nor can. Damn it,
Some
Fluffy.
liches have
Out of my
stitches.
head.
Oh, man.
Fuck. What the hell did I even do on Sirris that was pre-stream?
There's the whole burning down a tower.
Besides, boy.
Okay, see, I was gonna leave that one alone.
No, we have to talk about that one. We have to talk about the burning down of a tavern, because we
Well-
keep referencing it.
We didn't burn it
Well,
down
you
first
see.
of all.
Yes, you
In order
did.
to understand this, we must go to the beginning.
We burned away the bottom of the tavern, not the top.
Okay.
Oh yeah. In the beginning, there was a girl in her brothel.
Too far.
Yep.
There once was a dumb kid named
Yeah.
Sirris.
Yeah. Yeah, but lovely things going on at this point. My character was trying to find their father. And this tavern just so happened to claim they had information on their father. And were willing to give it. In exchange, a pest problem was dealt with. Because giant spiders.
Yep.
So a trip to the basement and a few stabbings later...
and a nat 1 to find water to put out a fire that was started.
You know, technically, I didn't start that fire. I just accelerated it.
Yeah,
So
no, the fire was started by Garthag.
Fire.
Yeah. I think it was Garthag who saw the eggs in the ceiling.
I saw the eggs in the ceiling, so I lit them on fire just to burn them a bit. And Sirris was to find water so I could put it out. Sirris found booze.
Very, very highly alcoholic
Booze.
Because nat ones, ladies and gentlemen.
It was clear. It looked like water.
You know, it's fine.
Vodka's
Everyone on the other
also
side's
clear.
got some really...
Exactly, and very highly flammable. You know what else is clear? Everclear. Which is
got them-
extremely flammable.
Banned from said tavern. And also
you
got
know,
Rinn for some cheap food.
Yup.
it's fine. It's just very cheap and very crispy jerky. Have fun. You're welcome.
Speaking
Yep,
of,
she was, she scraped off the burnt parts of the bread. She made use of everything that was extremely, not usable for tavern selling anymore. It was great. She had extra rations when she needed it. It was perfect.
speaking of, can we go back to the tavern? Because I think we can take that troll now.
No.
It
Half
also
over.
would have
We're
We're
leveled.
Whatever it
heroes
was.
of Wythra. We can't go tavern brawling anymore.
The hell you
I mean,
say?
technically we can, but...
Not
we just have to find a
everyone
way to make it part
was,
of the greater
to
good.
be
Milv, you
fair.
up. Milv, you're up.
To be fair, Mylvada, Erembor, Alwin, they aren't
Look,
heroes.
Milv, you're
Ronnie
a tavern
isn't.
brawler, you're up.
Hey, just
Technically.
because I have the feed does not mean I actually brawl in taverns. I just like to...
Mylvada's a bloodthirsty barbarian fighter.
You know, bloodthirsty implies that there is an actual thirst for blood. She just bites to bite, okay?
She's
is
into
fair.
that sort of thing.
Poor Alwin.
She actually isn't.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yo.
High five!
Oh, high five! Oh, everyone thought the same
Someone
thing.
up in a tavern. She would just be sitting there going, why?
I
Why
want
are
to see
you
Ronnie
doing this?
beat someone up in a tavern. That's what Huffle said. I love it.
No,
Yeah.
Ronnie's a sweet child. I made her years ago and barely ever got to play her. I played her in a couple of one shots with Dragon and whatnot, but bringing her into Wythra just opened up a whole new side to this cleric.
Hey, come now, Ronnie. Come join us in fighting. When do we ever have time to fight anymore?
We fight all the time. That's the problem.
But this is not to the death.
This time.
And speaking of characters, Rinn and, at that point, still going to nickname Valaki,
Mhm.
were also on a... Well, Rinn was more trying to go somewhere that wasn't where it should be found. Lucky was on a mission.
Yee.
Yeah, I believe there was also some ulterior motive to see how her family was going because Sirris had a means to gain information with her brothel.
Yep, because Rinn at the time, part of her entire backstory, which I gave to Fluffy with very loose terms of, I have no idea what
Oh,
occurred. Please
don't.
run and destroy
Okay.
everything.
We know
I have
better.
to...
Yeah, I know
little
better
sidetrack
now.
here. Well, no, a little sidetrack here. You think you would have learned from what you did with Fluffy? You think you would have learned?
I give you pretty strict terms, but apparently not strict enough.
No, you gave me loose terms.
I gave you, this is how she grew up, this is how she is, this is
Yep.
how it works, and then you just kind of just twisted it.
That's how
But-
it works.
Apparently so. But for Rinn, because I've been playing something completely different, and I had an entire backstory already written out for, like, Terra in my other campaign. Like, Rinn's backstory and how I wanted to make her, because originally she was just straight Warlock of the Raven Queen. And looking through a whole bunch of different options on how everything went down and whatnot, it came to my attention that one of the, I think it was ideals or bonds or something like that, was like, I'm going to avenge my noble house one day. I'm going to get that back. And I'm like, huh, I can run with this. So basically what happened to Rinn, and this is where a lot of the stuff that has recently come up with alternative universe Rinn, AU Rinn, is...
AU Rinn.
It hurts.
Her family, the Litharians, are a noble family in Ylrim. They were merchant nobles. They basically helped run the trade routes and everything like that. It was a big deal. They were minor nobles, but they still had like a whole bunch of hands and pots places that were necessary. Rinn is the youngest of all of her family, and then all of a sudden one day, something goes down in the house, and all of her family, according to her, is dead or dying, and she's not too far behind. So she escapes the house, and upon, like, very close to death, tries to reach out to anything that is listening to help her. The Raven Queen answers. She becomes a warlock, and then goes running off to go, figure things out. Grail was actually her original familiar at this point. But she and Lucky met on the way over to, where was that city? I can't remember off the top of my head. What was that city again, Fluff? Sinnet. Because she'd been, while she's running around and trying not to be found, because every time she drops her full name, Rinn Litharian, there are bounty hunters, guards, people chasing after her. Like, she's not sure why. She either thinks they want to kill her, arrest her, or something of that nature. She's not entirely sure what's going on. So she starts calling herself Hikairi. And Hikairi is heading to this brothel where she believes there is information on the Litharians to find out what exactly happened, because her memory is very hazy of that night. She has no idea what occurred. She doesn't know if anybody survived. And so, and also, considering the situation in which every time she drops Litharian name, she gets into trouble, she's got bad feels and she's just trying to figure it out. So,
Yeah.
that's where Rinn came from when we started the campaign, and that's how Lucky found her, and it was a mess.
There's not a whole lot to tell about him, to be fair. He was just kind of a random character I made to be Aurora's son. He didn't really have a huge backstory at the time. He was just, he grew up in Gladius. His entire backstory has developed through the campaign. You know, the Matthew thing was just a random thought. The split personality was a random thing that came to mind based on how he's acted.
Which actually worked out rather well. The more and more I kept thinking about previous actions on his part, I was like, that worked really well for something that was just spontaneous of a thought.
Yeah. I think about it and try to have it make sense with a character.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, here's this part, but then Fluffy knows I give ideas throughout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what was Lucky's original mission when they had met?
He was doing an escort. If I remember right.
Yeah,
He was escorting the merchant.
Escorting that merchant, yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
really just the merchant escorting.
Oh, yes, Rinn was engaged at one point, but that was prior to campaign as well, in her backstory. And this only came up because Fox had Striker buy a love potion. And the, oh, hi, Condor! Thanks for
Condor.
gifting us up to Botsky! Yeah! Woohoo!
Hopefully the emotes will be up soon for you guys. I'm still waiting
I
for them
hope
to be
so.
approved.
Twitch,
But,
they're good, we promise.
Yes, they're amazing. But yes, Rinn was engaged prior to meeting the party. Rinn, going as Hikari, had found herself in a small little farming town kind of situation and ran into a brother and sister who took her in with their family because she had nothing and was down on her luck and everything like that. And over time, she and the brother, whose name is Aaron, ended up falling in love. She told him everything. She told him their real name, told him where she came from, and said she'd give it all up. She'd forget about where she came from, she'd give up revenge, whole 9 yards. And then, well, revenge came knocking at her door as something got out that a Letharian was around. And so Rinn ended up having to leave Aaron behind. So it broke off the engagement abruptly. She left a note. I don't know what was in that note, only because it's one of those like, I just figured she left a note to let him know, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
I gotta go. Look, can't go home, but I can't stay here.
Yeah. So, but that was about 2 years into being away from home. That was the first time she'd actually felt safe and loved and everything since she left home. So upon meeting the party and everything like that, finding other people that suddenly cared about her and cared about her well-being enough to go like, we're not gonna let anything happen to you, was terrifying. Especially as Stryker came into the picture later on and everything. Like, that was a mess and a half.
Yeah, interesting thing about Stryker, he actually was never supposed to be a part of this campaign. Neither was Mill.
Yeah.
They essentially were part of a one-shot that had to semi-do with Wythra, because we had someone else with us that was brought there from Wythra. And we just randomly were like, we kind of just want to bring these characters in because we like them.
But it was super fun, and it's honestly it's been insane how wide things have gotten, because between entangling these one-shot characters that were like, we're just gonna throw them in Wythra just for the heck of it, to hey, you need a backup character because your character's going to be sitting on the sidelines for a good while.
Yeah. And I
or
can
in my
say,
case, single-handedly supplying the Dampiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
yes.
Alwin still makes me laugh because I was just making jokes, and then I was gonna need a backup character after Stryker did his thing, because chances are he was gonna have to run. Was one of my fears, and I would have had no one to play. So I was like, okay, well, since I always made jokes about how fucking Xander has a druid on his shoulder, why not?
Well,
yeah.
and see, Garthag I brought in because I was like, hey, Goliath sounds cool. Alright, let's go fight her. Because, no secret, I watch Groku Roll and Grog. Fucking Grog. Enough said. But, he bounty hunter, and he had taken up a bounty on Miss Hikari. Oh, sorry, Rinn Letharian.
Yup.
Who, upon an insight check, I believe, perception check, because Disguise Self dropped.
Yeah.
Recognized her, but refused to turn her in because he believed her.
Yeah, I wonder how many times. Yeah, I wonder how many times Garthag regretted the decision not long after making it.
Do you want some player knowledge?
Yes, please. I'd love player knowledge.
He has not.
Aww.
He's one to give second chances because he never got a second chance with his group.
And after 6 years, he finally found someone to get laid.
Shush. Hey.
Sorry.
I mean, is that any different from a player who essentially started off as a prostitute, but only
she started off as a prostitute and then was a cradle robber because Lucky was only 18. And she was like 50 because Dampmere.
It's
Yep.
fine.
She's a cougar.
Sneak cuddle rolls. Those are still my favorite to this
Fucking
day.
natural 20 every time. Every time a natural 20.
Fucking time.
Now, mind you, Sirris also unfortunately rolled a natural 20 on something else that we didn't like, and that was
Oh yeah.
attacking the own fucking party because of, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, if she got controlled and had to attack one of us, it was always a nat 20. She even did that in the past.
Yeah. Fuck.
To freaking Rinn.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see. And
The-
then,
No,
oh, go ahead.
that did so much for her fucking mindset too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I gave her so much problem with that kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
Did.
I got a question for you, Fox.
Yes.
If I shared some images with you, could you share them with the stream at all?
I could pull them up in another window, yes.
Because there's a few images I want to share, if I can. So let me just send them.
And while you do that, one other thing I want to point out, Erembor was originally a character I gave to Fluffy to use as NPC.
Yeah.
And then Fluffy turned control over to me for him.
Yep. Erembor was supposed to just be a random guy that we needed to use ranger skills on occasion.
Yeah.
That was all he was supposed to be,
Okay,
if I
NPC.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. And
Yeah.
So the images that I'll share as well, but
Yeah, I
And while they're working on the image stuff to elaborate on the natural 20 hits and everything like that, the very first time that ever occurred was we were in Mirk. We ended, or like, I can't, Welk. No, I'm sorry, Welk is where everything went bad.
Mhm.
That's always where everything goes bad. This little town, like, just as we're starting the campaign and getting into some of the heavier arc and everything like that, as we're constantly being told, do not engage with these specific people, we are constantly being barraged by these specific people. We run ourselves into a cult situation where we get trapped in a mind maze by this little girl that is possessed. And
Yeah.
in the middle of this maze, I believe the thing possessing said little girl takes control of Sirris for about 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
Ah, there's the map of Wythra.
This was
That
the
is the
old
old map.
Before the times.
yeah.
and then the new
And-
one.
And I'll be right back. If you don't get
Okie doke. Oh, that's so good.
You can
That's
see
what how it was in
the
first
difference,
campaign.
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole wasteland here.
Yeah.
They actually got trapped in the wasteland, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They were
Yep.
I
they
thought
had
I
to go
heard
there,
about that.
and they fought obsidian golems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gosh.
fuck those things.
And I think if we ended up dying there, we were kind of fucked because Aurora was not high enough level to revive. I don't think.
Well, it was that, and the place was cut off from the gods and all this.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, so you guys dealt with the cutting off from the gods before already.
Yeah.
In that area, yeah.
to an extent, yeah.
The area is completely controlled by the corruption.
Oh no. I hate that thing. I hate that thing
Why
with a
did they
passion.
go there again? I think I know they
There
met
was-
somebody there.
There was a library we were going to
Mhm.
Yeah, there's another library. That's right.
There is a library there. There is
Oh.
a very ancient library there.
I know where Lucky and Leah are going next.
I feel
There's
like
a
that.
library that was buried,
Yeah.
other than a small part that was poking up, and that part was guarded by obsidian golems.
Oof.
yeah.
Welcome to hell. I actually have debated, but then I was like, I forgot about that, but now I'm thinking, would anybody tell him that, knowing the situation? Because the other one's a little safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one's also safe, relatively safe, because that one, and Roar would know this too, is technically guarded by a big metallic dragon.
Fair.
An ancient dragon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That is very fair.
And actually, fun fact, that idea kind of sprouted from a show I watched. Avatar, Last Airbender.
Oh!
And that one,
Oh.
there was
Oh!
an undersand library that was headed by a giant flying owl that had all the knowledge.
I love that. Also, Fox,
Yes.
that look on Jess's face right now is so unsettling.
You're welcome.
Oh,
She's just
I also
being her
think-
cutesy self.
I don't believe that for a minute.
She does play a good actress.
Oh, that I believe.
I sent 2 more pictures.
Ooh.
These ones were one's actually a picture I had to take that I added onto this one before I added all the pieces.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
I just kind of want to show how I built this essentially, because I only shared the final product with, I believe, everybody.
Yeah.
I know definitely. So it's kind of yeah. So there's like so there's the final project and the first, and then what I did was I typed it up in a Word document. Then I took a screen snippet, basically, or the snipping tool, snipped the text into an image, pasted it in, and then I added all the border and then the symbol with a W for Wythra on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which unfortunately has the lovely edited, like the things where it's like, oh, this is error. But you can barely see it with the lines. Unfortunately, it would not get rid of it. Like
Mm.
how you find. But my goal was to make it look like there was like a printed out form that was signed with different signatures. That's why each signature I did a different
Font.
a different font. Yeah, that was kind of a cursive E font.
Nice. Also, Heffel has left you quite the compliment for the mechanic where during the Matthew Lucky arc, because the whole thing going on with Landar and Luna and the amnesia thing, she says, I've been so worried that Jay's going to do the same mechanic of when Lucky got corrupted by Matthew and had to make rolls to see how much corruption went away, and I'm ready to cry a million tears. The mechanic is so interesting, BTW.
Yeah,
Don't give him ideas. Don't put things in the ether.
that idea actually came. EvilFluffy actually wanted to do this
Yes.
because when he could catch it, and that's when I came up with the. It was basically a contested roll, where he would make a certain roll, and then, like, I believe it was like persuasion or intimidation or something like that. It was a charisma check from him, whereas from Lucky it was a wisdom save,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on how well that went, determined how far he progressed to 100%.
And how quickly.
And how quickly. Whereas at the same time, the other group was trying to find him. They were making checks to see how far to 100% they get, and so how many days it would take. And they just happened at the same days
Yup.
as that
Yeah.
just finished.
I feel, if I remember correctly, it was me and Fox rolling for those two sides of
Yeah.
things, because Rinn was heading up the
Yeah.
entire chase, and
Yep, with Bryce's help.
yep, with Bryce's and Striker's help, because both of them were extremely good trackers.
Yeah, because Bryce, being a vampire, could smell blood.
And Lucky's
Yeah.
blood is very, very unique, as we have found out.
Mhm. They had
Yeah.
a lot of. He basically just used Aurora's. I was like, yeah, no, I'll just follow this.
Fox, I gotta ask you, when you created Lucky, did you have any idea that at any point he was just going to be this hybrid melting pot of nonsense that he's become.
No.
This celestial water genasi human.
I only thought about the genasi and human, and I made him unique to begin with, because he's supposed to look more genasi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ended up making him human because I wanted to play a human.
Yeah.
See, Jay might not have been here, but he can read.
Yeah.
I was trying to print something, but printer's on frets, so I couldn't print what I was trying to print.
Aw, sad.
I was going to color some.
In terms of the celestial thing,
Yes.
and I find this is actually kind of interesting. You brought this up. That when I decided to send you guys to the past, or give that as an option, rather, I of course had to think more now about like the history of the Silversteins and all that, and like how far that went back and how far everything else went back. And that's when I'm like, okay, well, we know the Silversteins get a large amount of funding because they have all this stuff. I'm like, okay, what if they made a deal with somebody? And then that's when I thought of that old man that's actually a gold dragon in the mountain. And what if they dealt with him way in the past? And I'm like, okay, so. And I always wanted like the defining trait of at least the female half of the Silverstein's bloodline to have that silver hair.
Mm.
So like, well, what would cause that? Well, maybe they were celestial. And then when I started thinking about that, then I started remembering Fultus and Ronnie, and I'm like, there we go.
Yeah, because when I brought in Ronnie, I was like, she's got this platinum blonde hair. It's like crazy, almost white hair. And he's like, huh, interesting. I'm like, duh, what?
Yeah. And it's like, that's where that came from. That's where that was literally just a thought. That wasn't a thought when I first originally made the Silverstein family and all that.
Yeah, I love how that entire family has just been developed because of what's gone on.
Yeah. And I love how, even though we continuously get warned, like, hey, don't mess with the fate lines, be careful about the fate lines, don't mess with fate too much. Not only do we have a fate touch that continuously just yanks at the fate lines, but we constantly are being sent into the past in where we constantly mess
We're
with
dealing with stuff from the past that comes back.
Yep, we're just like, okay, we keep getting warned to not do the thing, but here we are doing the thing anyway. It's honestly such a on-brand thing for this group. I don't even know.
I still hate, though, that when you said that whole thing when Rinn got rid of that memory of her head being cut off, that Stryker could have just vanished.
Yeah.
There was that risk.
Yeah, he could have.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm sure that would have made her so happy.
Oh, yeah, no, but she wouldn't have realized it because that grief would have just been there, which would have maybe been a little bit more amplified by how everything went down.
Actually, probably not, because that whole fight is what brought them together, so they probably never got together, which means the kids would have disappeared.
Yeah, a lot of things. That's why I was so very torn about that memory. I was... Because, and Fox and I have had this conversation before about when those two got together and how that was a very pivotal moment for them. Because...
Yeah.
Dumb before and everything like that. This was the actual dumbest thing she had ever done. Like running up face first into Victoria, who had a Vorpal blade.
And he kept trying to get her to get away from there, and he got attacked a bunch, and that was why she made him stay away.
It was always a push and pull with them like up until that fight, because Rinn was always yelling at Striker for getting into trouble, and Striker was kind
was
of apologetic, but
trying.
also
He was trying to listen to her the one time he listened to her, though.
yeah.
Because she told him to trust her, and then that.
I actually have a mechanics question for you, Fluff. So in Wythra, we've seen the use of, like the pain sharing.
Yeah.
What happens if someone who is sharing the pain with somebody else gets hit with a Vorpal Blade nat 20?
Well, I think it's just, you'd probably have to make a saving throw to see if you, like, can withstand that kind of pain.
That's a painful thing to not actually have happen to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be more of that kind of situation. Like you said, probably a con save, be like, can you stay conscious after feeling like you just got decapitated?
Yeah. Like, your body's in shock, you're out.
Which could
Your
actually
body's
result
thinking
in
about
other
it.
things, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Con save to withstand it, and probably... I guess... What would it be? Like a will save to survive it?
I would think so, because it's matter your own body, your own force of will to see if you can get your mind to not think, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Because then if you fail that, your whole body goes into shock, cardiac arrest, everything shuts down. And done.
Yup.
Yeah, which makes spells like Warding Bond and stuff very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very much so. Which I love the fact that Warding Bond has just been right next to the spell Garthag got for healing and whatnot. One of those, we don't use that in this house. You use that, you get like you get people upset.
Technically, doesn't Striker still have it on his ring? That she gave him?
She can cast it through his ring, but she doesn't have it constantly on him. Because she knows he doesn't like it when she does that. The only time that she's ever done that, and she's only done it twice to him on stream. I feel like it's possible they've had arguments over it off stream and whatnot. But like the only 2 times she's ever done it was when she was actually terrified for his life. Like the one time when they were past the undead getting the one artifact, and she was like, you're about to die, here, take this, don't do the stupid. And then the second time was after he got kidnapped and was just brought back, and she was just like,
she did it again up on the top of the base too.
Yeah, that's where that was directly after that kidnapping.
That's when he did the invincibility.
Yep.
No, that wasn't directly after. That was the recent thing with the first guy that we ran into before Rinn showed up.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was actually recent.
It was not that long ago.
Also, you missed the spell, Aspire.
Mm.
I believe Erenbor's Compelled Duel falls under that one as well.
God.
Okay, yeah. We're all
it never works, except for like once.
It worked against the goddess. It worked against the goddess. That is why he continues to try and use it.
Okay, to be fair, he used it a lot before, and it failed over and over, so it didn't frickin' matter. You can't use that as the excuse.
Yeah, nah, you can't. It's one of those, no matter how many times you keep telling, and Erembor keeps telling everybody he doesn't have a death wish, the actions he portrays like to the rest of the group, he has a death wish.
Well, we'll have to see from now on, won't we?
Yes, he has a sister and whole 9 yards, so he might be more careful, which would be great. I gotta admit, that would be fantastic. Ronnie would not have to worry about that
would
one
be.
much.
It'd be a shame something will not what happened to that, wouldn't it?
Fluffy.
You know...
There's a few people who have some very close things they don't want to lose.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're on Elendar, but I feel this fear that those kids are gonna end up in some kind of situation. And...
Yeah, I was just about to say...
Oh shit.
The kids back up like in the recent session, because I was like, I hadn't. I was like, this would be a good idea because I haven't seen or talked to their kids recently, and they probably really miss them at this point. And just it's important. They need to see their kids, and their kids miss them, and the whole 9 yards. It never occurred to me on what ammunition I'm giving by doing that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You did that before all of that too.
Yeah.
When you showed AU Rinn the kids.
Oh. Jay,
And-
I don't think he realized that.
I
Oh, I realize that.
Oh
he-
no!
yeah.
But it doesn't
I
help
just-
that, because both Striker
'Cause
and
that's
Rinn
what
would
I
be
just thought
affected by
about.
that.
Yeah.
And
I don't.
Striker would do anything to get them, make sure they were safe too, and you know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck was my thinking on this note?
okay. Now what's your note? Hold on.
I'm going to take a snippet of this image here, and I'm going to send it to Fox to share the screen, and it's going to be confusing as fuck till I explain it.
Oh no! Oh,
I like
no,
this.
No.
So
Chloe's like, let's wait to see something, then I'll
No.
explain.
Yeah.
I'll wait for it to pop on stream.
It hasn't popped up in messages.
No, I had to save it still, and I got to find it in my folder somewhere. It's fine.
Got one over there.
Bring this to Fox, and what the fuck did I name it?
Oh my god.
There it is. I had to figure out how the alphabet works.
What the fuck is this?
I will
What is
explain.
happening?
I don't know if I want to show this. I'm concerned.
What
wanna
is
see this.
happening?
What the fuck is this, Fluffy?
It's a Lourdes.
Hi, Lourdes.
What is? Look at this shit.
Let me know what's on this.
It is very much on.
So,
I know what some of those are.
Aww.
so the note
Right.
is called Fighting Tournament.
Oh.
And if you look at some of those characters, the images are very representative of apparently who would be fighting who. This was my first. I think this was my first way of like I was trying to figure out like how the fighting tournament would go. The one that you guys end up meeting Vi.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
And it just I don't know why I have all these dead.
That was what I was gonna ask. Why?
I don't know why.
Filler.
I think they were just literally just there to be like, okay,
Why?
I don't have tokens for these random NPCs. We just put this here.
That'll work. Hello, Shy. Welcome as well. Welcome to the
Hi,
confusion.
Jay.
Welcome to the Q&A. If you have questions, ask them. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is that?
We're doing lore. We're doing Q&A. We're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
For Wythra, not Glandar. Wythra.
Yep.
Do not ask Glandar. I do not wish to reveal any secrets
Yep,
at
and
this
I know,
time.
Shy, you're kind of still new to Wythra and Lander and everything like that, so if you've got questions about Wythra, want to catch up or whatever, you just let us know and we'll,
Do our best.
favorite color.
Murder.
Mine's red.
Green and
What are
many,
your
many
favorite
glorious
colors?
shades, although I tend towards the
Uh-huh.
darker ones.
Mine is murder.
Blue and gold.
I enjoy a good blue. Blues are my favorite colors.
But if I tell you I
Rinn's
don't have
is
one,
obviously purple, so.
what do you say if I say I do not have favorite color?
It happens.
Yeah, we can update you a little bit on Wythra and stuff like that if you want to know, like, anything. And
Yeah,
all that
Landar will
fun
probably be
stuff.
another time. We're still pretty early on in that one.
Yeah.
We'll answer, like, stuff that's happened in it.
We can definitely do that. But
I will be right back.
Okie
Okie dokie. Actually, Drag, I got a question for you because I know you've been a little bit quiet because we've all been chit-chatting nonstop. When it came to Sirris, did you think this is where she would end up? Like, mom, kids, whole 9 yards, like, at all?
Yeah, oh, hell no, dude.
Vampy husband.
Thing. The kids thing. The only reason that was a thing I was thinking, like, you know, this is an action that's been performed quite a bit recently. You know, given her a bloodline and what she is, what are the chances she would even have a kid? And I believe Fluffy set that at like a 15%.
I googled to see if it was even possible in D&D Dampfires to have kids, and they can. It's very rare, and that's where the 15% came from. And you rolled a what? You rolled like a freaking... I
rolled a fucking 1.
Yeah, he rolled a 1. He rolled the 1% chance.
God, man.
So that is how Baboos happen, and we decided twins. Two glorious
okay.
So
Little PSA for
happen. Percentage die.
I'm about to say, little PSA here. Baboos do not happen by percentile rolls in real life.
Yes, you do. It literally is about a 1% chance, to be fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fair. Very rarely are dice rolled for that.
I almost want to do that, just to scare like the next guy when I have sex one day.
Oh no!
Literally, how I saw Sirris was, at least before she dealt with her issues, she would just kind of be like that one person in the party that was overly comfortable with being with whoever wasn't taken. So long as they were comfortable with that knowledge.
That explains the stealth cuddles with Rinn on top of cuddles with Lucky at the time.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to watch both campaigns, we have a YouTube channel. I don't know if the link is one of the Nightbot cycles.
It's below the stream. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Below the
But
stream.
all of our streamed stuff up to a certain point for Wythra, because we're still working through some VODs and things like that, because Fox is amazing, but she's also a mom, and so we want to make sure she takes care of herself. But you can check out all of the VODs from when we started streaming up until what was the most recent episode that dropped? I think we're getting close to catching up, actually.
I had to take kind of a small break, but now good news is I'm going to be focusing on stuff more, because I've decided to probably no longer stream to my own channel. And I'm going to focus on Wythra stuff full time, do commissions, do art streams like this, and VOD stuff whenever we have time together, just to get together on our off-stream days, and focus on the YouTube and the DeviantArt and all that stuff.
Give me 1 second, I will get the link for you, Shy. Give me 1 moment.
And
Easily do this.
Yeah, it looks like we are up to episode 68, and our most recent episode...
We're not caught up, I can guarantee you that. We're like
No.
80-something on Twitch.
Yeah, we're 84 right now on current stuff, so the most recent Wythra is episode 68. Most recent episode of Landar is episode 20, which that one's, I think, a little bit closer to being caught up. But in any case, that is a great place to check out our past streams and everything like that. We've even got a few, like, all of the one-shots are over there. Like, from where Striker and Mylvada came from. Tara was actually part of that one-shot, too. And the Lady Crumps, it was a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there were a couple other things. We also have a Monster of the Week campaign up over there. That was a really, really fun kind of campaign we did. And then I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, we have a couple of like side games that we played. We did Uno for a while. We did some Dead by Daylight stuff. Like it's all there. All of our chaos is right there for you to see. So
there's well over 100 videos.
Yeah.
And you know, Huffle has asked a very good question.
Yeah, I do like that question. I was just going to point that
How
out.
the hell
yeah.
did we name all the children?
It was okay. I believe a lot of it was we decided who we were going to play, because we were going to kind of NPC them a bit. I know I did that with both Drag and Aspire. And then we decided how they were going to look together, as well as, like, the names. I believe we just let the other person do names, but I know with Aspire, she and I, for Striker Kids, we, like, did half elf, half human. I think, or half-shifter names.
Yeah, because we were like, this is how they would want to kind of blend it to kind of bring both of their lives to it. So
Yeah.
which actually worked out in a really cool way.
Yeah, we actually made a custom kind of like race where it had a bit of bonuses from both.
Yee.
I like there's so much.
Sure. Let's see. What's the best way to do a rundown, guys? Like, to give... Oh, like, how do I tell them apart? For, like,
what apart?
campaign-wise, or
Yeah.
what...
Don't worry. Fine.
Well, how can we help you, hun?
You're talking about, like, if you're talking about the, like, Wythra and Landar, they'll be named that as well, but also there's going to be the... Landar is more dark. In a
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
whereas
And
Wythra
Jay
is
is also
more...
the...
Wythra bounces back and forth. It has its happy times
Yeah.
and sad times,
Mhm.
and
Landar's had its happy moments.
okay.
It has,
And then
but
Rift will be
not for
immediately-
very long.
Exactly.
Mm.
I like giving false sense of security.
And they are also split into their different playlists.
Yeah, I do need to go
Yes, they
organize
are.
some of those, but you got a good chunk of episodes that are in the playlist that you don't have to worry about looking
Yep.
for.
I think we should preface by saying that the Wythra stuff was kind of like a campaign 1 critical role situation where we were playing before we started streaming and then just decided to stream it because we had so many people asking to watch us play, and we were just like, okay, because we ran out of room in the call at the time.
I have a thing to do
Have
while I'm
people
here.
come hang out.
Mhm.
So that's
Well,
how
we'll see.
this got started. So if you've got questions about like how we got to where we were when we first started streaming, feel free to drop those in the Discord. We will be happy to help. There's even a channel called Wythra Discussion, and you can ask questions there and things like that.
Oh,
All of us are pretty. We have notes lying about all over the place. We've got memories from like ages ago on how things went down, and even if we don't, somebody else does. So
notes.
It's fine, they'll notice eventually what I've done.
what are you doing?
You'll see it.
Mean I'll see it.
I've done things.
What'd you do in Discord?
I didn't do anything in Discord, I did something in the stream.
In stream?
It'll do a thing in a minute, I'm sure.
Not on stream. In the chat.
In chat.
That wasn't there before.
Oh, do I see a special little symbol next to a
I
special
see
little
it.
person's name?
What? Oh, Diamond! You're a VIP because you are a Landar
Hey, look.
player, madam.
Yee.
And Lourdes is one too. Look at that!
Hey!
Panics.
Yeah, Shai is asking, if she can get a general rundown of like what's happened in Landar.
Okay, let's see here. I can barely do the rundown at the beginning of session, so here we go.
Good luck!
We're here to
Oh.
help you if you need it.
Let's see. So I guess I'll just start out with the basis of how I decided to start with it. Obviously, I'm still kind of new to D&D. I've been involved in it for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, a little less than 2 years. And this is my first ever venture into DMing. So I decided, hey, I'm going to, go ahead and combine a bunch of my favorite worlds, and of course the OG, Faerun, that whole actual D&D stuff, along with Wythra and Lourdes. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
But I combined Wythra, of course, the worlds from Critical Role, and I'm honestly, I've learned a lot as far as watching Fluffy with Wythra, Perkins on Dice Camera Action, Mercer from Critical Role. I've kind of learned a lot from them as far as in just taking different things and kind of fuse ideas together, basically. But so far, the party met very first session, didn't exactly trust each other that well very first session, as nobody really does.
Well, I was just simple blocky back in the day, Dom.
Yes, you were. David was a barkeep. Null was technical on the run, but also still doing his chef stuff. Latari was looking for information.
Just running around,
Yeah.
doing nothing with her life at all.
Was
Not
first
getting in
searching for
trouble.
information. Yeah. And Stalvert definitely was on the run. Like 100% was on the run. I mean, technically, 3 of the 4 at the very
You're
beginning were on the run.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about how Latari was basically the good little angel devil child right at the beginning because everybody else was practically criminals.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
no criminal.
And Lourdes, I think, came in episode 6.
I
Well,
feel like it was
what, like
6 or
right when we
8,
got to White
somewhere in
still.
there.
Yeah, I'd say it's
Not right one, but
Yeah, like very shortly as we got in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So not far in, Raven was introduced. Of course, Huffle was brought in as actually playing her character a little bit later than when we introduced her character originally.
Yeah.
But oh god, a lot of stuff has happened in 28 episodes.
Well, she says that helps, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. One of those things. It's hard to even for me to go through everything that has
Yeah.
happened. But general, it is a trip.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I
A
mean-
lot has happened, and
I mean,
Stalberg and all, well, they did not get along at first.
no,
at
not
all.
at all.
No, but now it's a ship.
And now it's
Yeah.
a ship,
See, and
all because
what
of
I can-
memories.
what I can say is really cool though for the first 20 episodes so far. Look at all the character development there's been in the first 28 episodes.
Dear Lord, they're not even level 10 yet, or are they level 10?
No, you
what
guys are only
level
level
are we?
8.
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
You guys just got to level 8
Yeah.
after last session.
And there's been so much development, personality, friendships, all of it.
Mhm.
Like,
I even have changed some of his traits since the
Yeah.
start.
yeah.
And-
Yep.
And don't think I didn't see what you tried to do last time, Fluffy.
Mhm.
You're trying to set up another ship, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you two should go talk. There is no just talking in this universe. That's how ships stand.
To be fair, he does still think that that there needs to be air cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other
Oh, yeah,
monster
because he would remember
himself.
all the pain he caused her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And considering
Sorry.
the conversations they have had previously and everything like that, like, between Stalverk and David, they would both know that this was not a good time.
Yeah, I'm pretty
At all
sure
for
there's going to
her.
be a lot of RP next session, because
Oh,
Stalberg's going to
absolutely.
want to talk to his family, he's going to want to talk to Null, I'm sure he has to explain shit to Lindell, and he's going to want to talk to Latari and David.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
maybe Raven, and probably be like, you probably was a good thing you didn't trust me.
I apologize, chat. I had to be a troll.
Yeah, you
You
know,
know.
Raven Rory.
Door.
And Huffle's got a fiance hanging out there, and so we've got actually a lot of like loose threads hanging out there right now, which is great for the campaign being so early on and
It
everything
is.
like that. But it's also terrifying.
Stalberg has a fucking
Considering-
list of things that want to
Yeah.
murder him, because he
Yeah.
just pisses things off so easily.
Let me know when you have that list actually fleshed out, by the way.
Let's see. I've
Oh.
got Lady Briarwood. I've got fucking
Yeah.
Dragon Thing.
Yes.
I've got. I don't imagine Demon Thing is gonna be happy if it ever sees him again.
You know,
I like I feel like that's like how he would name it too, just like dragon thing.
Yeah, he would. He would. He really wouldn't give a fuck.
Thing,
Creepy
father.
lady who can go fuck herself.
Yeah, I've said it repeatedly. The fact
thing
this
that
was
he. Oh yeah, I remember you and I talked about. He kept preventing a lot of that thing from controlling Latari by constantly kicking away the gun and stuff like that.
But that thing's not gonna be happy.
That thing does not like him either, apparently.
No.
So he has a list of
I don't
things
think
that
thing
just
likes Null either, to be fair.
no.
No. To be fair, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, whoever that thing takes over next time, you're all on its list.
Oh, good.
Cool.
All of you, the entire party.
And it depends on who it takes over. Who is it? Because it goes for people in like certain pain.
And
doesn't it?
and it goes for people who are confused as far as about what they're supposed to be doing, or like anger.
You know. Hello, Stalwark, I guess.
Yeah,
But it
no.
will not take control of anyone in the party.
Oh.
It wants the party dead.
It wants the party souls.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just had a realization I don't like it.
Yeah, Popple actually put
Yeah.
something real fun in the chat. My bet is on Latari's ex. Yeah, that guy's still floating out there by the by.
Apparently in an alternate dimension or something last we knew.
He's in the 9 hells.
He according to player knowledge. We as
might be
characters
floating
don't know
around.
that.
Yeah,
But
because
he's currently in the 9
because
hells.
the banishment is a fun spell. If
It is.
you are sent back to your home plane due to the banishment spell, as long as the spell is held, you stay there permanently.
Yeah.
And that is one player knowledge-wise. That's something he did not tell Latari. He is not from the material plane.
Yep. One tiefling boy giving Latari some heartbreak. It's fine.
Yes, as a player, you did not know that, but that's fine. Now you do. But yeah, I've repeatedly said this. This being my first time DMing, I'm so glad I have the players I do, because all of them know D&D. You know, at least enough to, help me if I need help.
Yeah.
That and such wonderful people to begin with. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better players for my first group. It's been very heartwarming as far as the reception as far as that the campaign's received from not only the players but the people watching. It's
Fox.
Yes.
oh no, I'm scared now.
I found the original image you gave me for Aurora.
Oh god, my art has changed so much since you guys saw the art I did for our campaign. There's another one too. Like it was for me worse. Like looking at old art is just worse.
You
I
know?
love the water effect you did though. That water effect is really cool.
Who says you actually convinced us? Who says we're not playing along?
Yeah, the original art for Aurora.
It's all about my evil plan.
She even has
What's your evil
the
plan?
scar on her neck and everything.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, that's
I
badass.
still hate that Vorpal Blade has a habit of killing, like...
The clerics.
Clerics.
Of the
Yeah.
Oh god, it has.
It has.
group.
Okay, for those who are like new to the stream, like shy, you're gonna get a little bit of sneak peek into what you're going to be getting into with Wythra. There was a Vorpal Blade that got in the hands of a very, very important and painful situation. And as a player, I had no idea what a Vorpal Blade did. So, but Fox did, because apparently in the campaign before I had joined, her character had gotten beheaded by one. So when Fluffy said, "Nope, I'm not touching it. I didn't do it." And Fox was like, "You did not." I literally was sitting there like, "How bad?"
I was freaking out when I realized what happened. I was like, "Oh
everybody was panicking. I'm over here like,
Striker's gonna
okay,
be
I'm
so
sure it's not that bad.
Like-
I was over here like, I'm sure it's not that bad. It's a natural 20. It's gonna be some really bad damage. I'll be fine. All of a sudden, I get told that my head is cut off, goes flying, and I'm dead.
You see, I want to point out, even somebody new to D&D like me, I knew what was going on. It was scared. I was
Here's
like,
the
oh,
thing.
fuck.
You say that another Vorpal Blade. That was the same Vorpal Blade.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, this was my second character death in all of D&D, and the first one we all blame Crumpler on. I kid. We don't blame Crumpler at all. I did the dumb in that situation in which I played a bard that was level 1 in a place she shouldn't have been.
The funny thing is Crumpler is the bard killer. Apparently, Fluffy is the fucking Clair killer.
Yup.
You know?
See,
Because Ronnie has also died. I'm not gonna say why she died, but she died!
which, I want to point out something that was pointed out to me because I had thought of this, but I didn't, I didn't fully think of it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys who do watch Landar, you will notice a Onyx Blade is prevalent in it for one of the NPCs. Antagonist-wise, it's fine. It's basically a reskinned Vorpal Blade.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Difference being, it does not remove the head, unless that is where they're swinging. It is
Good.
pretty much nat 20. It goes through the heart. But the wielder has to be composed while swinging it.
Fair.
If they're not composed while swinging it and they're rolling at 20, it is the same damage as a normal hit. As far as it does the crit damage, that's it. Does not be hit.
It's
Yeah,
an actual S.
Hey, I got information that I think Fox doesn't have yet.
Oh.
So I found this in my notes, my folder of notes and whatnot that I've randomly filled throughout last campaign and this one that we're actually streaming, called Enforcer.
Mm.
And the Enforcer was the original holder of this blade.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And this, all it is filled with is his strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, and charisma stats.
Mm-hmm.
Strength 24.
Oh.
Dex 10. 16 constitution. 4 intelligence. 10 wisdom. 2 charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He was your brute individual.
Yeah.
And because this wasn't streamed, so I'm going to say this. When they countered him with that blade, the Executioner's Blade is what it's called, they were told basically to run.
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of checks to see if they could keep a distance for a certain period of time. They were like one turn. They had just one turn. Reggie fell back. However, Aurora saved him by getting him forward, putting Hearn back.
And trying to cast a spell to slow it down was her mentality, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. However, his final action was going to be to toss the blade. And he rolled a natural 20.
Oof.
Which actually is, I believe that event is what brought Aurora and Reggie together initially.
Mm-hmm.
Because she saved his life, and so they started talking and hanging out more, and that's why they got together.
So what you're
That
saying?
seems to be a theme.
What you're saying? The Vorpal Blade creates ships.
Apparently, it actually, it kills clerics and it creates ships. So,
You know-
I also realized something.
Hmm.
There's a pattern.
mm-hmm.
Well,
You remember how Aurora was love potioned?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All that needs to happen now is Mylvada has to get decapitated, and then that can begin.
Or Alwin, because he hasn't died yet either.
Yeah, you know.
He's almost died a few times. Oh.
Let's not.
Oh.
Huh.
A kid. I never try. I mean, I don't hold back, but I don't ever try to actively just kill, because it's easy for a DM to just go, I'm gonna try to kill these people. Bump!
Yeah. I mean, they've been trying. To be fair, Alwin has taken some hits, but there's always someone there. Either he heals himself or they heal him, and he just can never get past. I don't think he's ever fallen unconscious because of that.
No, yeah.
He's a threat in himself. You can't seem to knock him down.
Yeah, he's easy to hit, but also not easy to take down necessarily, because it's like not as great as his AC is. He's got all the wild shapes going on for him.
He's got 155 HP too.
He's usually hanging out towards the back, so it's easier for the healers to get to him.
He can heal.
It's easy.
And all that, yeah. So it's more of, unless he somehow gets like incapacitated or something, there's not a whole lot things can do against him.
Yep. I still love that I made the joke that Rinn hasn't every arc. Fox and I have been trading off and who's dying.
Now, my thing is when you were talking about the Gorgon incident when you had to go do that with Crumpler.
Yeah.
One of the things I mentioned to, I think it was Jay, that I hate about turning to stone is that it technically can be an insta-kill, because if they break the stone, well, you're dead then, because all they have to do is just shatter it. That's all they gotta do.
All they have to do is roll a high strength check to shatter it. That is it. And even the majority of the time it makes the stone brittle.
Yeah.
I'd say
it's not a good time.
No. That's why I'm very hesitant to use something like that, or a basilisk, or something that will turn like a player character to stone or something. It's one of those things.
I mean, there's
that's
ways to
hard to bring them back from.
I mean, they could still be revived, but then you have to do a full, true resurrection usually because their body probably isn't intact.
Yeah, no.
It's
now, if it's only something like they're missing a limb or their head was cut off or something, you technically can restore them, but you have to put it back together when you do it.
Word of advice: mending would be useful there.
You know?
Put the arm back, cast mending.
But yeah, it's been like one of my biggest fears for my characters, that happening, because I know a few of them that would have a harder time keeping their eyes averted.
Yeah.
You know, like Alwin is a very skittish character. The Striker probably would, just based on he can use his senses.
Yeah.
Xander technically could also use his senses. Lucky kind of has to throw things.
Hey, Doom. Bro.
Hi, Doom.
Salud.
And then he wants cheese? Cheese!
I have cheese bread. Does that count?
You know, one of those things that I'm not gonna like putting out in the ether. If Xander dies on her again, she is losing her mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is 100% fair. And I think we've had this discussion before, like, in our chats and things like that over on Discord, where right now with how the gods are kind of cut off, it's a little bit more difficult to revive people, isn't it, Fluff?
Can be. The fact that the Lucky only came back because of the wish spell, to be fair.
So, like, dying right now is super duper dangerous because...
But the thing is if you actually stop and think about it, none of the characters are even considering that. Because they haven't really thought about the souls being disconnected.
Yeah, that's one of those, like... That would have to come from literally one of the clerics. That idea, that thought would have to literally come from one of the clerics.
Either one of the clerics, or it's something that I don't think anyone will realize until someone dies and needs to be revived. And if it fails, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, as much as I really, really, really want to give one of my girls, like, hey, here's the thing, you need to actually think about this and say it out loud, like...
But there's been no reason to doubt that.
No, yeah, because
everybody's come back.
Yeah.
Rinn doesn't have... She understands mortality, and she's very afraid of death and everything like that. She's got a respectful fear of that whole aspect of things now. But at the same time, because of her close relationship with the Raven Queen and everything like that, she has faith that she can pull that string and make it reverse.
Yeah.
As so long as the Queen allows.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie, on the other hand, simply believes that life is life, and if it is meant to come back, it is come back. If it's
that
not,
is unfortunately Aurora's ideal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rinn is the only one who would have that no, they should be coming back mentality. The other two would be like, unfortunately, it was their time.
Yeah, and Rinn wouldn't accept it, and that's when she goes marching to the temple to have a word with her queen, and that when she can't get a hold of the Raven Queen, that's when things would start hitting.
Yeah.
That's when reality would hit her like a Mack truck.
And I almost want that to happen, but then I don't, because, I mean, it's still imagined roles and everything, so there's just that, but there's that off chance that one of these times it's gonna fail.
Yeah, and that
they could be brought back later, after the restoration's probably brought back. But I think if it fails, doesn't it automatically fail a death save as well?
If it fails a death save, or one of those their DC goes up, and it cannot be performed again on them.
Oh.
The only way to go over that, to bypass that, is True Resurrection and Witch.
Yeah.
And True Resurrection still has to bypass the DC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is a good thing we have a couple characters that can do that.
Yeah.
Alwin, to be fair, Alwin always has that prepped, even though he's never had to use it.
Yeah, no,
because
every
he's
resurrection spell
a lot of death.
Every resurrection spell that is available, Ronnie has it always prepped. Simply due to the fact that, like you said,
she didn't have it prepped this last time.
No, she actually did. That's the thing. It's one of those, like, with everything else going on, the wish spell would be the best way to redo it. Oh, no, wait. Right.
You told me that she didn't.
I forgot about that. I forgot I hadn't actually... Oh, you're right. That was sucky on my part. She's gonna have that prepared for God.
I mean, you all know he can do it. He's offered it a couple times.
Yeah, and I remember him going, I can do it. I can do it today. And they were getting ready to do it when the wish spell came up, so...
And like you said, the wish spell is the better option at the time. Because it's,
Go to bed, Lourdes.
Go to sleep.
Have a good night, Lourdes. Please get sleep. But, like you said, there's a better option at the time. Because there's so many things going on. That wish spell could reverse.
Yep, they were missing limbs, they were missing memories, there was age stuff that went down, like, there was so much that everybody was like, no, this is not happening to us, this is not happening to our party, we're gonna fix it, that kind of thing. Which is honestly such a growth out of the pure panic that everybody gets into.
I'm still waiting for the talk with Striker, because I feel like Victoria or someone's gonna go to him, and because he didn't have to.
No,
he really didn't, but he did it anyways. He was given the choice.
Yeah. I feel like once things are calmed down, because Rinn all of a sudden had to deal with her parents and then deal with the situation with her sister and everything like that. Once everything's calmed down and they're like laying in bed about to go to sleep, she's going to be like, You're kind of the best.
Alright.
You make your
Now,
mistakes. You're an idiot, but you also make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
She's
Uh-huh.
absolutely in love with him.
Do you guys want me to share with you the image of what was seen by the NPCs when technically Xander would have died?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean?
Which
Wait, what?
time?
I know Xander
one-
still has to have that talk, too, with Gladius. No one's really brought that up to him recently.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
been
everyone's
avoiding
kind of
it.
waiting on him.
He's been avoiding it, and I don't think everybody knows about it.
Honestly, I don't think
Who-
Garthag would have.
I know...
Who knows, actually?
I think he told Sirris. I don't
Yeah.
think he... I actually don't know if he specifically told anyone else. And he might have told Rinn, but I would have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he told Sirris.
Yeah, this would have been like during the vampire thing in the cave.
Oh.
I want to...
What drove?
Oh.
If the other players had been there, I would have used this as a token.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna post it in secret pics and stuff.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to grab it or no?
Sure.
I would thought you were sending it to me. Sorry, hold on. I gotta find the fucking chat.
It's fair.
I was just gonna show it on stream.
Yeah, feel free to show it on stream as well.
Also,
That's
Jay is
something.
correct. It's a super cute drawing, but also I am off-put.
Why?
There's some unsettling things here.
Why? What's offsetting about Jess?
She's just
You know,
so
I personally have
sweet.
nothing wrong with another Sister of the Shade.
I
She's
say,
so sweet.
Jess, there's nothing wrong with Jess. Jess is such a sweet, innocent being.
Ha!
Isn't it right, Fox?
Wait, sorry, what? I was reading chat.
I said Jess is a sweet, innocent being.
She actually, okay, to explain how she's supposed to be played. She...
Ah! Sorry.
she...
I just saw it.
She's supposed to be, okay, she actually is a very innocent person, but her past is what corrupted her. And in the sense of corruption, that she does care. She does find people to care about. But she really just wants to kill her father. That's all she wants. Find her family, kill her father. That's all she wants out of anything. The insanity was just a side effect of her past. So she's actually a very innocent but corrupted, I guess is how I would describe her.
Fair.
Very fair.
She
like
also
those
has
picture
mood
bars.
swings. Yes, I love it. She also has interesting mood swings, and I've kind of also sort of described her as like a bipolar crazy person.
You know?
Of just like 1 second she's sad, and then suddenly she's like, let's go do this.
You know?
She could be in tears, and then suddenly very angry. You know, like that's just how she is.
See, I'm also very happy. I now have a fleshed out backstory for Sarkis.
Yeah,
Character I'm bringing in.
She may. I'm only gonna give a hint. I'm not gonna describe why this is a thing, but she makes references to that she hears voices that don't respond back to her. And I will send you, Fluffy, what she actually is hearing.
Perfect.
Oh
You
boy.
know?
It's
Go with
actually
Batman.
very sad, but yes.
Oh.
She was young enough that she couldn't comprehend why they couldn't respond back to her. That
That's upsetting.
is upsetting. You're welcome. So it's actually very, very upsetting when, like, if the characters would ever find out what she's hearing and she were to describe it, they would probably realize it, but she wouldn't.
Good. See,
It had
Now
an
I'm
effect
concerned
on her
by-
sanity.
I need to relook at Turi's stat, who's the character that I'm bringing into the Elendar campaign, because I can't remember how I have her, and I was still fleshing out her entire situation, so I know we still have time, but it's one of those I need to look and see how she's being played out right now.
Fair. Also, what was the matter, Aspire? You didn't seem to like something.
I didn't like the image I saw. Thank you.
Dude, it's fine. It's just my watcher buddy.
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
You don't like him?
No.
I do.
It's
a
very,
fun-
very. It's terrifying. That
It's
will haunt my
adorable.
dreams tonight.
I'm curious what Sirris would think if she saw that happen to Xander.
No.
You know, assuming she saw a body revert to normal, it's cool.
I think I actually sent this to you in the notes, but I will resend this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If
yes,
it, like,
I
try,
did, but I will resend
if
this part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but yeah, if it would have like it would done that, and there was no like getting lucky back one, that's going against an agreement here. I don't like that.
Xander.
Yeah.
Fuck, Xander. Sorry. My brain. I think it's because Lucky is just like I am too used to. They're separate
Yeah.
people now.
Yes. It's only been a couple weeks to be fair as far as in game.
You know, at least the one time I did it in character, their mind was going about 53,000 miles a minute.
Fair.
You know, Fluffy, I've been meaning to ask. I didn't think to try it at the time, but what would have happened if Sirris talked to her watcher buddy from Wonderland, or attempted to?
Well, he would have been there. He's still there. He's always with you.
He's always watching.
I wish I would have thought of that. I
Mhm.
don't know what he could have done in there, but I wish I would have thought of that.
Not much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that was, like I said, Wonderland has reality-bending magics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
That would not
ultimate
be a safe idea.
fuck you place.
That would not be a safe idea to play Cards Against Humanity as our characters.
Oh my god.
I will be
yes.
on about that.
Yes. I want this shy.
Who would you play as, Fox?
I would have to. I mean, it could be any character, to be fair.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
characters. Who would you all play as?
I would probably switch around between them as we go for each game.
You know, that's sure. Yeah,
I
that's true.
swear if we pick up any burning orphan cards, I'm going to fucking gut you people.
Don't worry, I'll
you know-
purposely play those when it's here the cards are.
We need to have one that we're like null and star worker together, though.
Oh god, yes.
No, sorry, and I also had an idea of being like just a hodgepodge as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yalamil.
Oh god! but what's
No.
bad is that one online thing that I showed you guys is we could literally do all blank cards and just
Yeah,
type
we could.
everything
Could.
in.
We should
We've
totally
had
do that.
discussions about doing something like that because the last time we played Cards Against Humanity, just to us and everything, we kept pulling the blank cards with like references to the sessions because it fit too well,
Yes.
and everybody would laugh. It was great.
Oh, I would love to do that.
I would love to do that, Shy. We have to do that now. You need to record videos for YouTube.
Oh god, that would be amazing. Playing
That was
as
just-
a full but Freddy. Oh,
Every-
yeah, Freddy would
Every
die.
like round, we could like switch up to different
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
You, and here would be a ground rule. You cannot play the same character 2 rounds in a row.
Fair.
Unless you only have one character.
Yeah,
then,
Yeah.
obviously. But if you have more than one character, you have to alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's
That
gonna be
would be
confusing as hell.
crazy.
Don't play.
Would that
play?
would that include like Monster of the Week characters though? Because
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be
I
chaotic.
say yes.
Can you imagine
I could
just
be
like
Heather's saying that she sees dead people half the time.
oh my god, Heather's, and then like I'm playing, I Garland, my Revenant.
Oh no.
Oh my
I see
god.
dead people. There's like a skeleton standing right next to you.
I sure hope you do.
Plays Nox so I can cheat the system.
Oh,
You all see this guy, right?
Who? Can we see who? Roll a deception check. 24. Yeah, he doesn't see anyone.
I can't roll a perception for her because it's totally different types of stats.
I know.
Oh.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my god. I'm gonna share this with you, Fox. I think I thought of something.
Oh no.
I think you might love it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. What the fuck is that? Is that a new pet for his little belt? Can I share this?
Oh right, I forgot Lucky's also a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, Lucky's also. Well, no, Xander is.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Xander's got the little gem of
He can have up to 3.
Leviathan. Oh god.
He has 2 empty ones.
Mm-hmm.
Would we roll as the characters?
No, I think it'd just be
Nah.
more of just
Us playing
RP.
RP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I say you guys should. If one of you play around as Vex and Percy. I'd say
RP
yes.
is playing a round of Texas Hold'em. Hun, what do these mean? It's fine. I will use RP to learn how to play poker.
You know?
Just looks at the hand. Bet on it. That's all we need to know.
It's a good hand. Bet on it.
He wouldn't say that, he'd just say bet on it. Throw
Okay.
money in the middle. That's all you need to do.
literally the worst poker advice.
All in. Always all in.
Alright,
Trust me, you
here's
get
my
very
gold
lucky.
pouch. Here is my most valuable magical item. Here's the deed to my broth. I mean, what?
Oh no.
Let's flip over cards. Oh, it looks like Sirris wins. Wait, what?
Oh. It
Dude,
is cute.
just
She
do
would
the-
think that's cute. She would think that is very adorable.
Wait, real quick, this picture is super adorable.
Hmm.
I know we're running out of time for some of us here.
Yeah. Wait, Aspire, what if we played it around as Vex and Percy? Ha!
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
We may have to
I commandeth
do that.
this.
We may
I
have to do
command
that
this.
in July when we're in person if either of us have the game. We don't have the game here for very specific reasons, but
Well, as long as you guys have access to the internet, it wouldn't take up a whole lot, which is good.
yeah, this is true.
Yeah, the browser is very easy to use.
Yeah.
I
This-
think
this is
technically
true.
use it on mobile.
I haven't
I
tried that.
don't
Technically.
know. I haven't tried it with mobile.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I don't
I just
know.
want to see if I can.
I mean, you might be able to, but playing
Actually-
is another story.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a possibility that Cards Against Humanity might be in the game room at the convention we typically go to, Huffle. We would have to check that, but I feel like that might be a thing. So just an FYI, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that might be more physical. I want to play with Huffle. I want to see Huffle's sense of humor.
You know,
I need to see
It's,
this. I need to see if it's just as bad as Aspire's. Because Aspire's...
No.
No.
Huffle is actually worse. she
Aspire, I'm still gonna argue, you were actually the worst of us in cards.
I actually
And that's saying a
almost-
lot.
Yeah. Look.
Oh.
I don't even know how to explain why it is the way it is. The other thing is I can very much tailor my sense of humor to whoever the cards are is typically after I figure out what tickles their funny bone. Either it's the pure shock value, or it's just, this is so wrong, it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible person.
So,
A horrible human being.
that is my typical response anytime I put a card down. It's fine.
If it makes you guys feel any better, guess what? You can indeed play on mobile.
Oh, interesting.
Is it easy to play on mobile?
It's easier to play on computer, I will admit that. It's like weird as far as selecting the cards and stuff like that. I was able to jump in and you can play solo if you disable a certain setting.
Well, yeah.
That was... it's strange, to be honest.
What?
I found my NPC list
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
from the first campaign in Wythra.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Gladius
like that.
organization. Victoria Silverstein leader. Human woman. At that point, she was in her 60s, technically, because of the age thing. Long white hair, emerald eyes, stern but caring, noble-like voice. Reggie Drine, aka Silverstein, because he was not going by Silverstein because he didn't want him to be treated differently.
Mm-hmm.
He was only 17 at the time when they first met. Short, dark red hair with a pair of goggles resting above the forehead. Brown eyes, fair-skinned, nervous, fanboy-esque individual.
Oh.
Communications officer for the party as well as default pilot. Ally Dove Gracewind, dead, half elf, female, 29. That was the one that you guys, that first introduced you to the Gladius organization being existing.
Yeah.
Then there's the Morbius organization.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still exist as part of... We've actually met people from that organization.
John Rath.
Oh.
John
John
Rath
Rath.
is the
Oh.
husband of the leader?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at the point, he was human male under his 30s, short black hair, reddish brown eyes, carefree, cocky, no longer with Morbius, loosely with Gladius, also under aliases of Elder Knight. Kara Malram, human, female, 40s, leader, short light brown hair, green eyes, arrogant and manly, devoted to a husband who was rebuilt, and she wishes to bring back fully, which she could not do. That was also the Enforcer, construct created by Kara. Iron mask and armor with black smoke. Is Kara's husband rebuilt? Is manly devoted to his wife Kara. Cold and emotionless other than his love and devotion for Kara. I have the Fallen, Selena Fallen, wife of the head of the family, human, quote unquote, Asmar, 40s, brunette hair, shorter length, plight noble. Lil Rick, the 8-foot-tall, 600-pound Dragonborn brass.
Oh my.
Southern drawl, owns the drunken miner. The Doctor, creepy plague doctor, speaks softly, creepily, owns the vagrant's respite. Angel Thule, dead, owner of the Angel's Rest. An inn doubles as a brothel. Western Southern accent. Feigns concerned about incidents with minors. Accurate of stats of the accurate with HP equals 17. Found a relic inside the mines that gave her knowledge that warped her mind, aka the entity's relic.
Yeah.
She was trying to get the Doctor blamed for the zombies, which are just common folk turned feral from injection of a revelation serum, a concoction that drives people mad to the point of killing and eating each other. Bites spread the serum, Constate DZ-15. Mad common folks had the stats of ghouls without paralyzing claws. On the road between Sinet and Pantheria in the forest, Trolley, a forest no male, has bright green hair but bald on top of a comb-over. Alchemist sop, can make a potion with buckwheat flour. Buckwheat, which is a flour. Blink Dog's tongue, honey. After coming back, he will eat all 3 items and drink a lot of water, and ask the party to come back in a couple hours, after which you will give them one vial of yellow, lukewarm liquid that smells sweet and tastes like honey.
So what you're saying, we need to take a certain blink dog to this person.
No.
If you want to chop off the dog's tail, go for it, but I doubt that'll make it sit well.
Not tail, tongue. But yes.
Oh, even worse.
The item feels full HP if drunk, or if poured on a petrified individual cures them and other ailments. No, this is not actually what it looks like. It's just a potion that is made from those items that he loves to eat, but it won't tell this party ever. He's a very unhinged individual. Tristed, Rusty Haverwitch, male, slicked back black hair with a short ponytail and pointed nose, tie-dye robes, owns the lusty wizard, no sense of personal boundaries, bit mischievous, and a little flamboyant. Reynolds Tree Spike, Wood Health, long blonde braided ponytail, lower back, whereas Vincent owns the fabulous unicorn, flirty, and Biorgay. Vinny Stratu, halfling that runs the Bullseye's Gambit, and dry. Most of his teeth are gone. Slick back hair, thick Italian mobster. Or think Italian mobster is what I have written here. Oh, I can't believe I have that. Found it again.
I can't believe you still have that.
I don't delete really anything.
That is fair.
You know, at some point, I actually need to start making deals. Because that is a horribly underused mechanic for a warlock for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's fine. Let's just eventually start making deals until a point to where the cost may or may not be madness. It's great.
That squeak though.
Yeah,
This has been quite the journey.
Yeah.
It really has been.
It's honestly surprising how close we are to the end compared to when we started, man. It's like...
I get the temptation to make a joke real quick, but I'm not going to. It's fine.
I mean, we still got a fair bit to go, to be fair.
Yeah.
But you guys are level 19.
Yeah.
That's close.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it then.
Uh-oh.
So what I was going to say, well, it generally happens, you generally, later in the campaign, you do get closer to the end than from the beginning.
Fair.
Boy.
And everything you look for is always in the last place you search.
Exactly.
I hate
But
both of you.
I'm sorry. But we all know each other. It's fine. It's fine.
Just so unreal, honestly.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
She looks so good, Fox.
It does.
So cutesy.
Jeez, Jay.
Oh goodness.
There is one very, very important question.
Mm-hmm.
On the chance that Umbra ends up sharing a room with her.
Oh no.
Well, Umbra does have a habit.
This is fair.
Oh yes, this habit has been discussed previously.
You do have to separate her from her boss, to be fair, but continue.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah,
He's a very protective person, and that's
Well, this
He's
is.
going to
Well,
protect
I
all
guess
of you.
this is more just a question to anyone she could possibly share a room in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of reactions would people actually have to her nightly routine?
It depends on what that is.
Oh, well, specifically, what her nightly routine is always strips down, prestidigitation, her clothes clean, and that is how she will sleep.
Naked. Got it.
Yep.
Never afraid.
All
Only
of the
naked,
blankets
never
on this
afraid.
child.
Always naked, never afraid. Gotcha.
Remember, this was supposed to be the girl traveling with Ethan originally.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
this, and I remember talking about this before. I'm just like, what? Right now.
It'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, she's one I always like set up with this.
Jay,
Right.
why do you do this?
Yes.
You know, it depends on what happens. But David wasn't exactly the I'm going to date people type. Because I actually want my bloodline to end, or at least wanted to. at
Neither
some
was Sirris. We saw what happened
Yeah,
there.
you see,
and-
I'm not denying that you guys won't. This thing won't happen.
Yeah, here's the thing about Latari that you have to remember. She, and Huffle would know this, because between her and I discussing as players and trading off what information that the two characters would know about each other, considering Latari's last relationship, she really doesn't have a lot of context of, really, Jay, I swear, just...
Dude, the time for sacrifice has passed. He's out now. It's great.
Are you sure?
But in any case, like, the whole David situation's got her even more confused because she doesn't understand how that works, because the only examples she's had of this previously were Nikor, which wasn't a healthy relationship, though if he came back, that would complicate things on many levels. And then her mother, and her mother is not exactly the prime example of how love works, considering
Stalberg and Gnar!
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
Stalberg and Null are absolutely adorable, and everything to
Which
do
I
with
don't
like
even
the
think-
good stuff.
To be fair, I think until they kissed in that moment, I don't even think Latari realized that those two were, anywhere interested in each other, because she was just
because
oblivious.
anytime she asked, like, you realize, like, a ring means marriage typically, or something like that, because that much she does know. She remembers seeing rings a lot with couples and things like that that were together, tied, and things like that. But, like, that's the extent of what she has to go off on. Like, she understands that love is a thing, but to her, love was a con. That was what it was, especially considering how Nikor played it, her mom played it, like, and she's very, very confused. If Nikor came back and said, I love you, like, it would mess everything up in her head so hard. So, it depends on how David's gonna handle it, because she doesn't know how to handle it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know. And
And I
technically,
pulled out a
Jay has
binder,
already
by the
had
way.
this.
Yeah, and I also just pulled out a binder so I can write that down correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, he didn't have it then. You see how
No,
that
works?
I had a plan of what I was going to do with him, but now I know what to do with him.
Yeah,
Good.
see? There you go.
I'm in danger.
It's totally fine.
Okay,
You are.
okay, right now I'm currently the one with the yandere. We don't need to... We don't need the
Yeah.
male
Oh,
version
this
of
is
it
fair.
right now.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
that's after you deal with the yonder.
I'm
The
gonna-
male version comes in.
I'm going to share this in secret picks stuff just for their players who weren't in last campaign. So they know what image I used
Yes,
for the
please.
Enforcer.
Oh, dang, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Please
I
don't
love
tell me
it.
we're going to see him again.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
so.
technically passed on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he is very, very dead.
I want to point out something.
Ah.
So was Erenbor's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Oh, good.
I still fear Matthew coming back out.
Oh, yeah.
Because something probably is strong enough to pull him out of whatever place he was sent to, and I feel like we're gonna deal with the original, who's gonna have some resentment towards certain people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
To answer your question, Shy, every single one of them.
Oh, yeah. Actually...
Look, I can name one exactly for drag. Sirris.
Yeah, no, Stalberg was actually meant to not get close to anybody and be just kind of the protector.
Yeah.
And that got changed real quick.
Yeah.
Funny enough, DM had nothing to do with that.
No.
That had a lot to do with just character development. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the first 20 episodes, look at my character development, man.
Well, here's the thing, and I know a lot of people
Terrifies
say,
me.
like, go like, well, how come you guys always have these characters, people go like, all these characters developed really quickly. It's like, we gotta think of it, to be fair, of how much they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
How much close to death they keep going to. Not just Landar, but Wythra, or any D&D campaign where there's a lot of closeness to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It really makes you think, I don't got a lot of time, I should probably keep...
Yeah.
Garthag.
To answer your question from my perspective, Rinn and Latari were actually supposed to be very, very different from how they're played now. Like, Rinn was technically supposed to be a lot more chaotic than she is now, and also a lot more flirty than how I ended up playing her. And a lot less panicked.
Yeah.
But things change, and then the DM does things.
Striker.
Yeah.
It's one of those fun things. And Latari technically was just supposed to be this quiet, nervous bookworm, and like have flash moment of like, I'm angry, or please don't touch me, I will shoot your kneecaps off. Like, those flash moments were not supposed to be an entire arc. Ended up being an entire arc.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different, which is always fun to see, because it's one of those, you can have a plan on paper and go, this is how I'm going to play this character. But the minute you put them into the fire, everything changes, because you're just like, oh, wait, that's not how they would be because of this.
Yeah.
You have to sit there and think about how would they react to this situation, how would they react if this other character put in this situation.
It's like with Stalberg and the control thing. Well, now he's been controlled twice in a very short time span.
Mm-hmm.
It freaks him out now that can keep happening, because now he's starting to feel like all he's doing is hurting people, because he thinks it's his fault that it keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, and that's how he would think, because that's just
that's fair.
And all it took was one failed saving throw for that to be a thing the first time, and he like freaked out and went off on his own and punched a mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and from my own perspective, this is not from Wythra, this is from my Sunday camping down the road. She already started off completely different than what I originally intended her to be.
Mm-hmm.
She was intended to be like the very recluse, very kind of like emotionally shut off kind of individual that's like, I will help you, I will do what I need, but I have my objective that I'm trying to complete.
Mm.
And that's how she was played for quite a while, until they got to Waterdeep, and then she started meeting people that stuck around, and she just slowly changed. The biggest change, I think, was when she actually met in a one-shot the Phaedra, and then that Phaedra came with, and then that's when the family of the Iron Roses kind of started.
Shuttle actually made a comment about that. I think she said something about Phaedra didn't even realize how she felt until Shiori almost died at one point.
Mm-hmm.
During the giant, we were fighting giants in a fire giants in a city, and Shiori went down, and Phaedra went down, and they get saved. But like, yeah, if it wasn't, she told me she rolled a wisdom saving throw, rolled like really high to not run away.
Hmm.
And she stayed and helped And that's how she gave Shuri a healing potion.
Oh.
And then they went down again and got dragged away in a big holding.
Sail. The ship sailed. Yeah, and see, to reply what you said, Shy, as far as where you say you hate yourself, because most of the time when characters go from what you write to what you would do IRL and then to bland, the thing with D&D, it's a good escape from things. It helps you deal with things that are outside of the game. And it always helps to put a little bit of yourself into your character.
All of my characters, as many as I have, all have a piece of my personality in some way, which is why I play them so well.
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah, Jess's craziness is the craziness I hide from all of you. Like,
I mean, I think you have
of the I really, really want to like hurt some people sometimes.
Yeah.
She is that character.
Yeah, I'm saying you have Garthag and Erembor on my end. They're both protectors. And they both protect in different ways.
Dying.
Because I would protect in different ways. There's like different aspects, either the diplomatic, I can hurt you way of Erembor to the I'm going to break you. Garthag.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a good night, Aspire, if you're hopping out here as well.
Yeah, I'm actually about to head out because I have to get up at 6 a.m. So I should go.
Ooh, yeah, you
Go to
should do that.
bed.
Have a good night, Aspire.
I am going. I'm going right now. So y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for having all of this and for supporting us. We thank you so much. All right, love you guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
I'd say D&D is always a great way to try and help deal with things as well. It's an escape, and it helps you deal with things that you are afraid to deal with outside of it.
Yeah, I mean, like Null was the thing that he got from me was his, and I didn't originally anticipate this. He just kind of just took this of his own. Was his kind of wanting to protect others. But only a certain select number. Like he doesn't give a flying fuck about the stranger down the street. But his friends, he cares a lot about.
Yeah. And Solberg was originally intended to be like that, but then he started to get the relationships with people, and it all became more of a, well, now I have to. Rather than just I'm going to, that I have to be the one to jump in the way.
Let's see.
Was his change on that?
I
think my characters are... Well, my characters are less my putting my personality in them, and more me later realizing I fucking made myself. I have them.
But they're never the exact same because you're only really taking bits and pieces.
Yeah, and you rearrange them as well.
Yeah, you change up their backstory, even if it's just slightly, but it's enough to make it so the story ends up being different.
Well, that's the thing I like about D&D. Like, you could take, say, Sirris, right?
Sorry, I had to deal with an invader.
Same start,
You're good.
right? Same, like, class and everything, like, same race, everything. But if you change up her backstory, even just like certain things, then suddenly they're gonna go in two different directions.
Yeah.
That's what I love about D&D. Like, you could literally remake the same character, but if you change the backstory every time, they're gonna play out differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way to think about it is think like how certain games have like the thousands of endings you could end up just because one choice was different. Think like that. It's a similar concept.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been trying to figure out was Sirris' backstory. Where the fuck was my mind when I made it?
That's always a good question sometimes.
You really wanted a slutty character, I guess? I don't
know. What does it say about... No, I'm just kidding.
Who was successful in seducing the young virgin of the group.
Ain't it?
Yeah. I think the only one that wasn't an option at the beginning was Garthag, because that would fucking kill her.
So-
I wouldn't have, but
So,
because,
let's go-
Anatomy's weird.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's now link the beginning of the campaign to here recently with Lucky.
You
He
know,
would break me with that thing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I kind of, when I thought about it though, with Lucky, was because, yeah, he was really good friends with Matthew. Why wouldn't he have swung both ways?
mhm.
Yeah, that's the thing. You never know.
He probably did care about Matthew in that kind of sense, in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because he's still, I mean, Xander may not have regrets, but Lucky would
Oh yeah, definitely.
about that, because he did care about what happened to Matthew, but he didn't get a choice that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I wanted to play that out, was that if he ever did see Matthew again, I actually don't know what he would do. I really, really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that... One thing I'm hating about this whole situation when it comes to Sirris End is their alternate version to be the most damaging to them is one massive fucking wild card.
Well, it also depends, too, because Sirris would have had a lot of routes where she probably never went into any sort of fighting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
based on her backstory.
And which is interesting because some of our characters, there is that possibility that they never got into any sort of combat whatsoever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I don't know. This is why I say that, like, I kind of almost want to see Matthew again, just because I really want to see how I would have Lucky react to that. Because Xander would have a very different reaction. He would be
honestly,
pissed. He really meant it when he said he didn't want to see him again.
Yeah, see, honestly, I want to see that play out because, that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah,
Hey, have a good night,
because the
Huffle. Thank you
entire
for coming
party...
out.
Bye, Huffle. Well, the entire party
Okay.
hates him. He was the
Yeah.
one person who wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so it would be that whole thing of, like, he still considered him a brother.
Yeah. But, like I said, that,
and was the
like,
only one who would have forgiven.
Yeah, like I said, and that relates back to the story will change a character's development
Oh, yeah.
because it all goes to how would they react in the situation. If another character is going through something, how are they going to react to this character going through this thing?
Mhm.
Or, just over time, how would they change to begin with?
Mhm.
So it's always an interesting aspect to think about. Yeah, you can plan this character this way. What you plan is not what you get in at the end.
Yeah.
No.
I can almost guarantee you that never happens.
That's why I never necessarily plan for future. I mean, I do plan out certain things, but I never set myself to be like, this is how it's going to end.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I say, for my characters, I plan session at a time. Like, because you never know what's going to happen session to session with how your character is going to react to something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, okay, this happened at the end of this time, prep them to deal with that in this one, see where it goes. That's how I go as far as with my characters. It's hard to prepare farther than that for me. Because I prepare for something, expecting something, and then something completely different happens, and it's like, gotta flip it real quick as far as, okay, you'd react this way to that, instead of this. Or you have them give that, like, stunned for a second, like don't know how to react right away.
Yeah.
It's always interesting.
Yeah, it is. I feel like, thinking about it too, I was thinking, like, would Matthew just, like, react and instantly go after Lucky, or would he have actually known about the split personalities? Would that have been something that was told to him?
That's a good question.
You know?
I feel like they were close enough that they probably did.
Alright, have a good night, Shy.
Night, Shy.
Good night,
Well,
Shy.
See, in thinking about that, it could also be a possibility of Matthew was so close to him, he could see, the different ways
He probably would
Xander
have
and Lucky,
seen it,
Lucky
yeah.
yeah, as far as how, he would act with him, or how he would act around family, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one of those possibilities.
Yeah,
So,
and technically, his personality changed because of Matthew.
mm-hmm.
So
it's a possibility.
It would have been a big difference all of a sudden out of the blue.
Yeah. So it could be a thing of Xander told him as far as about the whole split personality thing, and Matthew could be like, yeah, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, yeah, because of how much time they would have spent together. And as close as they were, that's...
Yeah. And while they look like each other, they also don't.
Because there are just slight differences you can easily pick up.
Well, the orange eyes are definitely the obvious difference. Of just okay, they're not 100% identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unless you're looking over them exactly, looking for differences, if you just glance at them, it's easy enough to confuse them.
Yeah, I mean, what stopped Xander from dyeing his hair, like...
Mm-hmm. Something I'm also really curious about?
Mm-hmm.
If Matthew does end up coming around, his response to Leah.
Oh.
Depends. Because that would require him to actually be, walking around base freely, too, to be fair.
Yeah, that is true.
Plus, they don't necessarily act like a couple 100%. No. They more act like work partners.
This is true.
They kind of have their hints of it, but they're not really technically dating still. He hasn't actually, say, hey, let's be together. It was just to make that
such because he came back to life.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's comments about a thorn whip being used in certain aspects, but
look, he was always a flirt.
Yeah.
I imagine that was nothing unusual.
And so even if Matthew saw that, it's like, oh, that's normal Lucky.
Yeah.
It's
because he kind of still flirts with everyone, to be fair.
Yeah. Again, he kind of locked eyes on a certain aspect of Garthag. Let's be real.
That was more jealousy.
Yes, it was. I would be jealous as well. Let's be real. You stand next to a naked Goliath, somebody will be jealous.
That is the... I wish. I know this conversation has turned into something terrible.
At least there hasn't been an excessive amount of going over the logistics of small person with big dude.
This is fair. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, guys.
Yep.
It's fine. This is what our life has become.
And look at it this way, chat. There's no bard.
There is no bard. Lucky is the closest thing to that, but he doesn't just sleep with everybody.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Striker was, to be fair.
Yes.
He just focused on the one person.
Yep. And then he got her.
And he got her, but she fought so long that he fell in love with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be the player character until she kept rejecting him. He was just supposed to be that.
And then he fell in love with that hard-to-get attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't used to it.
That's one thing I realize is probably gonna may or may not happen with Umbra. It's like this thing is going like, there's this original idea of she'll get around, and her goal is to somehow shenanigans, because evil. But maybe there's also that very, very strong possibility that through roleplay and all this fun, she's going like, okay, maybe I don't want to do the shenanigan. Maybe I should rethink my life. I don't want to sell these death sticks.
Innuendo.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
I mean, even with if you think about Alwin and Mylv.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mylv didn't seem like the type to ever fall for anyone.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Till you guys confused her.
Yeah, dude,
Hey.
it's just, there was a love potion, and now I am unused to these emotions I am currently feeling.
And
What
then
are
it was
emotions?
explained,
What am I
and then
feeling?
she was like, apparently I'm in love now.
Yep.
I love how that is what their whole relationship is based on, was a lie from a potion.
Yeah.
But,
know?
but, well, stop dying.
No promises.
That is for Xander and Lucky.
Oi,
Listen.
that happens again, I will kill you out of spite.
Okay.
Again, the Matthew probably killed Xander because he would have hated that.
Yeah.
Especially if he figured out that they were split.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, you're the one that didn't want to see me anymore. Well, here I am, stab.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, this is going to be...
I'm
looking forward to
I
all
look
the future
hope
things
to
for
that,
everything.
but then at the same time, I fear it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you want to see how it plays out, but then you don't.
Yeah, like, ah.
It's like, I want to see it, but how about no? How about no? I don't think I can put myself through my character dying again. Thank you.
Lucky
no.
wouldn't die.
No, Xander would.
If I lose that fucking charisma thing.
Oof. Yeah, you know? Oh, damn, you would. Fuck.
Because he's a vampire, so the body would go
Mhm.
away. And so
Mhm.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, that part was not thought through by him.
Mm-mm.
He wouldn't have even considered that option. He probably doesn't even remember that he did that. He probably just it probably just became a back of the mind thing.
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to a lot of the future stuff for all of the campaigns, like everything.
You know, I've discovered something about the indefinite madness table.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced that powerful enemies are hunting me and their agents are everywhere I go. I'm sure they're watching me all the time. Judge.
So you're saying we're living in somebody's madness stream?
Yep.
Sounds
I
good.
figured it out, everyone. We're all in a fever dream.
Oh dear.
Whose fever dream?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Galmos.
Oh, that's a normal dream for Gamma, to be fair.
Oh.
At this point, Fox, to be fair, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. And then Galmil woke up, and the party realizes they never existed. It was all a dream.
Oh god.
That'd be like the ultimate DM fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, see, I've trolled by mentioning this in voice chat with people. As far as just like, yeah, how bad would it be? You know, Stalvort just wakes up.
Yeah. No.
No David.
It was
no
all just a
Atari.
dream.
Yeah,
Or
he just wakes up
all-
in his house with his dad, his uncle, and his mom when he's younger.
I would
still young
cry. I would literally
Yeah.
start
Would-
crying.
The biggest fuck you.
It would be. Because, to be real, Stalvort, as a young child, was a creative kid,
Oh yeah.
wasn't he? So it wouldn't be a far-fetched idea. He would develop this story.
Do not do that. I will literally
I'm not.
just
I'm not.
bawl
No,
my eyes out.
I could not do that because
I would cry because with everything that's been put together so far, A, there's been no inkling that that's a thing. B, it's one of those I couldn't bring to do that. I hate those endings in movies and TV shows. I absolutely hate them because it is such a cop-out ending.
Yeah, dude. At least we know if something like that does happen, this is just some greater power fucking with us, and it's not real.
Exactly. But yeah, that's just one of the absolute. I hate those endings. So no, you do not have to worry about that kind of ending for this.
You.
Like, none at all. I absolutely detest those. Like, again, that's one of the biggest cop-out endings of a series or movie.
It's either it was a dream, there was an old dude telling the story of this thing to a small child.
Yeah.
Which I make an exception for in Princess Bride, because they keep flashing back to that.
Yeah.
Only exception.
I'd make an exception. I make an exception for that one. Because that's a hell of a movie. I love it. I love that movie.
The RUSs, man. The RUSs.
And here's over here, Fluffy,
writing notes,
planning.
I would never.
Bullshit.
Dude,
I didn't roll random character up already.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going over to the Discord real quick. Where's it roll finished? He didn't roll it. Yes, he did.
He didn't roll it. Yes, he did.
Well, I didn't scroll down far enough because I didn't see the light, and I got
if
down.
you're doing what I think you're
no,
doing, Fluffy, then I am very happy and very scared at the same time.
Oh God, he would be. Never mind. Actually, I just want to see how much does Dicebot love me today. You know, that's not bad, but not good either. Oh my God, that's fucking Adventures League stats.
You know,
12, 13, 14.
that is one of those things I can never see myself getting into.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I missed my Erembor from Adventures League. Because he had a fucking Ankylosaur pet, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole consistency over
Cat.
like your character and that don't necessarily aren't necessarily stuck to one thing. It basically being the MMO of pen and paper. Those restrictions, man. It's just
Let's say the second set of rolls.
My goofy warlock bullshit.
Yeah, that second set of rolls was a fuck you roll. Well, see, you can use Xanathars. You can only use 2 source books. That is it.
One of them has to be the PHP.
Yeah. Well, does it though?
I think so.
Well, because technically you can use Valos. Because Asimar. Oh,
I suppose now that actually.
Yeah, now that those are out, let's say you can use it's 2 source books. That's all you can use though. So you can essentially use Valos and Xanathars. But everything in PHB is off limits. Everything in, say, any other source books off limits. Campaign guides off limits. Everything like that.
For character creation, yeah.
Yeah. Which is.
I think I'm gonna do that for a few characters, actually.
Oh.
Nothing. Talking to myself.
This is fair.
I think I might do that anyways. Just cause.
Also, I think I have come to a decision on Sylvia.
Oh, good.
With
Let's
this
hear
Robe of Ice thing, it can instead be a Cloak of Elven Kind.
There we go.
Because that would make sense if she's in hiding.
There you go.
Fair.
Plus, I get to have a cloak.
Actually, I think he has the elven boots. I think.
Yeah, but I think that's what you.
That would actually make sense.
Yeah.
He has the boots.
Because he's the quiet one, and she'd be able to hide in a corner or something and not be seen. Easily. Let's see. I need to check.
No, let me just tweak that on my sheet so I'll remember it, because...
Fair.
One-shot characters, Sylvia, not Sylvia 20. It's fine.
I still have
just
to make his level 1 again because of that whole shenanigan, but...
Yeah. That is fair. Oh god, I forgot I didn't even write a freaking ideal
I've delayed
personality trait yet.
Yeah, I delayed it because I figured until we say we're gonna start it, I have no real reason to actually make the sheet right now. And who knows, he could change things later class-wise, so I may not keep the level 20 sheet, I don't know. Because they have to re-level up from the scratch.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What attuned items do your Landar characters have?
Landar? As far as I'm aware...
I think you only have one?
Let me double check.
I know Null has one because he got one from Stalberg.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 technically.
You have 2, okay.
Because the Iron
David
Stone is
has...
also tuned.
He does
not
not
have any.
anything attuned.
He doesn't, that's true. I don't know what
are
else...
the Ogre Power Glows? Are
He
those
has
attuned?
2.
No, wait, actually,
Oh, no.
we still have those amulets of sanctuary.
No, he has 3. He has all
Those
3
aren't
slots.
attuned.
He has all 3 slots.
Blink
Phil?
Belt, Whisper, and
Thank God, yeah.
Ring of Mind Shielding. So he's all 3
Yeah.
attuned.
Okay.
Yeah,
And yes, Columns of Ogre Power are.
The amulet of sanctuary, was that an attunement?
No, that is a passive thing.
Yeah, he has that as well.
That's a passive thing. That is not attunement. Because Sanctuary is it's a passive spell, to be fair.
Yeah, that's just active until we basically
Yeah.
attack something.
Yeah. And then after a long rest, it would redo.
Reactivate, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
It just means that first initial hit makes it harder for, like, assassins to hit and stuff like that.
I wish you guys had reminded me of that. Because technically there should have been a wisdom save as far as when Mr. Williams threw that fireball at the beginning.
That is fair. And technically, even the
yeah,
assassin
there should have been a
girl,
wisdom save.
or even the mom should have had to make it.
That was a location target.
But it's still, no. The fireball was targeted
He would have known
on
that,
you
though.
specifically.
Yeah.
He would have. But if he's made angry enough, mistakes are going to be made.
That's fair.
All logic goes out the window. But yeah, you're right. And about saying that was DM, that even slipped my mind.
I didn't think about it either because we didn't really
Yeah.
have a reason to use it after that.
Yeah, that's alright.
But now we have it.
Yeah. Well, we could play it along the lines of, is she technically what had advantage to hit you anyway?
Hi, Pumpkin.
I didn't roll for
keep
advantage.
kicking you out of my lap, but you keep jumping back up here. Ow, that's a claw
This
in
is
my
fair.
leg. That's a claw.
Poor Pumpkin.
Ow. Ow.
Are you sure?
Pumpkin, be nice, Pumpkin.
Kitty claw.
Kitty go claw. Oh. But, there's a reason I ask, and just wait until you guys get back to Whitestone. Things will be interesting. Yeah.
Which...
Any valuable goodies? Possibly. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh dear.
Don't worry about it.
I'm terrified. It's all right. Well, you know what? I'll give Chad a gift, and you guys won.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that could be interesting. But so you said you have no items attuned, correct, David?
Yes.
Okay. Stalberg, you have 3, and
Your
Null has
gloves
3.
Your gloves aren't an attunement?
Oh,
Are those?
I'd say no because it's only 1 use per day.
That is fair.
It's only a 1 charge thing. It just redoes it in the morning.
Mm.
It doesn't give any little bonus or anything like that. Really, it just gives them the ability to throw a fireball.
That is
So
fair.
essentially, like a lesser one to fireballs in glove form.
Yeah. All right. I'd say it'd be up to you guys as far as if you didn't want one of your items anymore. that isn't currently attuned, Gilmore will have gifts for you guys because you essentially just... Well, 2 people just got brought back. Which he had been panicked because it was Null's lover.
He would say that, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. Yes, I would.
And what's bad is now after the kiss thing, he's gonna be like,
it is
even
true.
more embarrassing.
Which he would be able to read that because, let's be real, Stalwark would not be able to make eye contact with Gilmore.
No, he
He
probably
would not
barely
be able
can
to
make
make
eye contact with anyone right now.
Exactly.
That is in the party.
He would avoid eye contact, like look away at this point.
He
because
would
of
attempt
that.
to walk out of there so fast.
Yeah.
As soon as it was brought up, he'd be like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
And here's a funny thing too. Null's Stalwark also still has the memories of all that, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he would remember Null at the party too.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm sure that's well.
Oh boy. Null dressed up like that. Oh boy.
Yeah, he may ask about that.
Fair. Well, among these gifts, there will be one item in particular. There will be... Let me see. I want to make sure I get numbers right here. There will be 6 gifts.
Mm.
It will be up to the party to decide who gets what. I will tell you one of them.
Ooh.
Cloak of Displacement.
You know?
I say Cloak of Displacement will be one of the 6 choices.
I would have to look up what that even does offhand.
I can
I can tell you exactly what it does because I have it on my Ever character.
while you wear this cloak, it projects an illusion that makes you appear to be standing in a place near your actual location, causing any creature to have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. If you take damage, property ceases to function until the start of your next turn.
To be fair, after watching that, he would probably give it to like Huffle because she is probably the squishiest of all of us.
Her AC is 12.
Yeah. That would be something that he would actually offer to Huffle.
Yeah. Which I believe the whole party would be like, nah, you need that. Take that.
Remember,
depending on what the items are, he may consider unattuning to something.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really throw the other daggers.
Oh,
anymore.
I need to look at something.
I could essentially get rid of the blink belt and give it to somebody else.
That's fair, and I need to find something because you'll notice something about Whisper.
Actually, is the blink belt even an attunement?
I don't think it is. I think it's. I think
so
it
then
attunes
he only
to
has
the weapons.
the 2. That's right.
I think blink belt attunes to the weapon technique.
That's right. So no, he only has the 2 then. So he does have the option to take something, depending on what they are.
Ooh.
Let's see. Yeah, Null has... No, I know he has 3. Because power gauntlets of Ogre Power are...
And he has the pretty little flower in his hair.
Mm-hmm. And the Ion Stone. To be fair, the Ion Stone Absorption has limited uses.
Yeah.
Has unlimited uses?
Limited.
Oh, it has limited. Okay, I thought you said unlimited. I was going to say, hold up.
It can absorb a spell level or lower as a reaction that would affect him. And if he... And that takes away from the total charges, because it can absorb up to 20 levels of spells. So, like, if you absorb a 4th level, now you have 16 more levels of spells you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've used all 20, it goes in there.
So it's a temporary attunement, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a very nice one.
Yeah, so it is something you could, like, get something and hold on to it for later.
You know what? I'll go ahead and say this out loud. Even though I messaged it to you, Fox, that's kind of a reminder for you.
I'll
because
look in a second. I can't even...
because you dealt the killing blow to Richard, seemingly completing why you were on the run. The dagger is now in a semi-exalted state. Meaning, this is something I changed because, honestly, when you had it, when you originally got it, it should have already been doing this, but it was something I kind of took away because early on, it's as far as early on things, as far as
yeah,
you're gonna be having to make a wisdom save to avoid being frightened.
Well, I'll have to look at all the stuff then, see what because it has like what 3 stages.
Dormant, Awakened, and Exalted. I'll say it's in between Awakened and Exalted at the moment.
You'll have to send me exactly what it
gets
out of that.
I'll send you. Yeah, I'll say I can easily do that.
You don't have to do it right now because I can't really do much.
Yeah, it's fine.
It, but...
I'm just gonna kind of pull it for myself as well because it's easier to have certain item information right off the. That I can just pull out of somewhere. Did cats just claw you, Fluffy?
No, she's got cold paws.
Aww.
Cold paws for kitty.
You must have been down in the basement. She knows how to open the barn door to the basement.
You know.
Pumpkin has learned how to open my door.
I don't like that.
No, because it's fucking cold outside and I don't like when the door just randomly opens and the wind's blowing and it goes...
Well, if I don't shut my door fully, like it doesn't. If I don't fully get it to click, she can open my door to my room.
Cats are smart, man. They're so underestimated.
And then she also jumps into an open garbage can. So then there's that
yeah.
So
Myers used to do like things like he would open my fridge for food, but then he would be laying there and just roll off the desk. So like he balanced the smart, you know, just
sometimes they're really smart. Sometimes they're just like, how do you function?
You know?
How does function, cat? Be careful, I'm gonna start having Jess say that to fucking Sarkis.
What?
Senpai.
Oh no!
Keep it up!
Oh no!
Keep it up!
You know?
It's canon. It's canon.
Question. How old is Jess, by the by?
Jess? She's 19. She's a very young elf. Or half-elf.
Fuck, I didn't give Umbra an age. Wait, I did. What the why is that not on the sheet? Why is that the one thing missing from this sheet?
Want to know something even funnier? Jess's boss is only 5 years older than her.
Yeah. They're both pretty young.
And I will out loud say, as far as something about his backstory when we're off stream.
This is fine.
Is it the thing you told me?
Yeah!
Yeah, because we ended up sharing a lot of the backstories as far as that goes, because we were trying to figure out what info they'd tell each other, which we're still kind of fleshing that out.
Yeah. I was saying, because I'm still sort of fleshing out his backstory to begin with, because I don't have it actually written down. This was one of the things I was like, okay, I don't get to use one of my character concepts enough, so I'm just going to pull this from his, fit it in here, because it would work. Because it would make sense for him being lawful evil.
Yeah, the one thing about that, essentially, I think, I don't know if you agreed to this, Jay. I know I said that, she, like, had only escaped where she was.
Yes.
And literally this was the first town that she went to just happened to be his, and then she just kind of stayed by his side in that time. So she hasn't actually gone out looking, but it's only been, like, 2 months, I think, is what I told you, Fluffy? When 2 or so months that she's been gone from that place and looking for her family. So she's been looking, but not really. She's more asking info as people pass through. It just kind of stuck with him. I think that's how I'm gonna change that until she starts traveling again.
Alright, Umber was also like just like 19-ish or 20, if I remember right.
Oh god, we got a young party. Like a very young party this time.
That's fine. Welcome to, how they start their adventures in a broken world. Broken by, oh god, broken by the older generation.
Just this fucking backstory, like, makes me want to cry. I made it, and then it
what
just,
I
like...
know of it makes me want to cry.
I didn't think it was gonna be so sad, and then I, like, started developing it more and more, and that's what it became.
Oh shit! I need to change her flaw.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think the
Well,
only thing
the
I was
character
gonna do
she
is
would be
change
referring.
her-
Right,
Oh,
that
I
was
did.
one thing that was going to happen with Umbra. Ethan didn't have a name to her, so she picked one for him.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen anymore. What was...
Yeah. So Ethan's name in that campaign would have been Fox, named after.
It was to
that
confuse
for
the
his
fuck
cunning.
out of you guys. It was just him constantly calling me Fox.
You know?
I need to send you her personality stuff too, don't I, Fluffy? That's something I did not send you. Her
Nice.
ideals and all that, yeah. I will send that along with other info. I will work on that later.
This is fine. Take your time on that one.
Yeah.
Where is what I want? Don't worry, I'm also working on stuff while we just chit and chat.
I know, we've been like throwing out so many ideas that like Fluffy's just
Oh yeah, this one idea, I'm loving where I'm going with it, and I think it's going to be quite interesting.
Good.
Because it won't be as simple.
Do you know something scary about the weapons Sarkis will be starting with? Mace, Warhammer, Pike.
I still need to revamp that dagger with you too, Fluffy, at
Wait.
some point.
One of these needs to actually be removed.
Oh,
That's what it was.
Yeah, she's gonna have that cursed dagger still, but we're gonna revamp it to
Sweet.
not be a legendary weapon.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of bullshit for a level 1 character to have, to be fair.
Yeah.
This is very
I figured. Yeah, I figure what we'll do is we'll revamp it, and then what we'll do is we'll have it slowly get
Stronger.
as you level up. It'll gain strength depending on
What
it
happens?
does.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fun.
because it would be based. The dagger itself is also lawful evil, because sentient being with its own
Yep.
stats.
Mhm. And it has its own wants and goals.
I have I don't have any of the other weapons, but I do have the scythe stats as well. The brother weapon.
That might be nice.
Yeah, I'll send that to you later as well. I need to make like a little list for myself here.
Yeah.
This is fine. I'm trying to find a specific thing, and I can't find where I put it in on my files. Too many files.
Wait, why the hell do I have 120-foot dark vision on Umbra?
Oh
Oh wait, that's part of her class.
Yeah.
The Shadow Sorcerer. Shadow Sorcerers don't give a fuck about your darkness.
Alright, she also used Quicken and Settle, although I may switch out Quicken for something else.
Oh, that's gonna work real well with fucking Jess, because Shadow Monk can cast darkness,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and when she gets
Problem
her
with the
Devil's Sight,
Yeah, you know.
fucking teamwork.
And like it says in the thing, just gonna cast it on something you're holding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just hands just a ball bearing. Hey, sister, hold this. Darkness.
To be fair, she won't
Save her.
get the Devil's Sight till like level 5.
Yeah,
or
further
so.
on.
Yeah, she won't get it right away, but it will be very useful later.
Oh yeah.
Silence is also bullshit to be able to cast, especially if you can get a spellcaster stuck in it.
Yeah, because she doesn't have to cast spells, to be fair. She could just cast silence and fuck you up.
Yep. Silence. Then stab.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I have subtle spell.
Oh my goodness. Caster like, well, haha, that person doesn't leave a cast too. Subtle cast. The fuck?
You wouldn't even be able to hear them yelling.
Yeah.
Panic in their eyes.
Dude. I forgot about the quirks I picked for this too.
I need to check something.
Blinked once last week.
I need to check something.
I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna take all the quirks. They will be very quirky. They won't blink all that much, they won't bleed a lot, and they stare at people for extended periods of time. Because reasons.
So does Jess, to be fair.
Okay.
Jess does it, though, as more of... She's clearly not trying to hide she's staring at you. She's got, like, a thinking thing going, and then she's analyzing. Like, she's trying to gauge you, but not being subtle about it.
Staring competition, let's go.
And then randomly she just kind of shrugs and walks off. Like, that's how she is.
This is fair.
I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, fuck, what was I...
How would they deal with a permanent death? Oh, that would actually probably tear Stalwart apart, to be fair.
I'm meaning both campaigns.
Both campaigns?
Oh.
It would depend on the character. Because it would be a different reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If Alwin died, I would just cry eternally.
Oh, dude, the small little bean, I would
I know!
be upset.
I think everyone would cry if he died.
No, he was too precious for this world.
Dude, if that happens, you would literally see all the progress Milv has made so far. That would be gone.
Oh my god, we would actually see Milv probably cry.
Like, I could see, like, her midway through crying, her face just hardens. And...
It would just be more tears rolling down.
Yeah, like, face hardens with tears rolling down still, and just... Milv is done. It's like, however he died, like, if somebody killed him in a fight, then...
I think it's more of if he was not brought back, too, as well. Because she knows people can be brought back.
Yeah.
She would be very pissed.
Oh, God, I could see... Why is it I can see a possible Grog situation? Fix him.
Yeah. When Scanlan almost, like, died.
Honestly, that is the only time Grog made me cry. Fix him!
Yeah. That one hurt, man.
It did, because you know he knows what happened, and you know he knows they can be brought back. But in that moment, fix him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pain, suffering, despair.
Fluffy's still over there taking notes.
Uh-huh. Aren't you, Fluffy?
Hmm?
Yep.
Alright, Fluffy, how would Galmil deal with the permanent death of one of the party members in Wythra?
I don't think he would care.
Particularly one that made a deal with him.
Are you going to be using that body?
Hmm?
Are you using that body?
But yeah.
God damn it.
Would he care about, like, any of the ones that were actually friendly with him?
He doesn't necessarily care about a lot of things, to be fair.
That is fair. Okay.
He cares about his spider.
Dude.
Yeah.
If
he can resummon that.
If Xander perma-died, though, fuck.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, dude, that would hurt everyone, dude. That's another one that would hurt everyone.
Lucky it were Xander.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the two different, what they were, like...
Especially the original group, knowing they dealt with both of them.
That would probably tear Rinn up to pieces if Lucky died.
Well, like I said, especially the original group, knowing now that they dealt with both of them, stop dying, knowing they dealt with both of them early on, that's really going to hurt.
Yeah. Because Lucky did explain the differences. And I imagine people would have taken the time to think back and saw him and realized it.
It's like, oh shit, yeah, we dealt with him at this time, and then
And then
This
the
was-
other one at this time, and then this is
Yeah.
around when Ace came in, and like they would have been able to suddenly, oh, they were more obvious than we thought, but also not.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out how lazy I am right now. I opened up Twitch on my phone, just so when the little chest for the channel points pops up at the bottom, I can click the button on the phone to collect them, instead of reaching for my mouse.
You know?
Yeah, you know?
Big brain. Big brain thought. Yeah, that... I'm excited. Like I keep saying, I'm excited to see where all of this is going for everybody's stuff. Like, this is... it's gonna be painful.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. You know, I just if the bad actually does happen to Alwin, I am going to have to apologize to the cleric because I will be the one of those characters that is frantically telling the cleric to do their fucking job.
Ooh.
Like I said, why do I see a grog thing coming?
Yeah, that is gonna be so heartbreaking, and you know it.
Oh, yeah.
That,
And I will play it up. Trust me.
I know
and
you
I
will.
can guarantee you, anybody that has seen that moment in particular in Critical Role,
Is gonna
that will
remember
hit
that
that-
pain.
that is going to hit them the hardest. And it, but the just the
poor
connection between
Huffle.
Milvin, Huffle, Aspire,
Well, Drag, I don't think seen it.
not yet. I might need to show him that clip.
Don't show him the clip. You gotta wait till he gets to that point. He hasn't even
That's
like
fair as
really
well.
gotten past the first
Let's
episode.
do it. Let's get him in it. Let's get him into it.
The problem I
Yeah.
have is just the sitting for 4 hours.
Yeah,
when you're,
that's fair.
When you're at work, that's a bit different there, Jay. But when you're at home all the time,
Yeah.
Fluffy, you've gotten
exactly.
really quiet, and this concerns
Which is
me.
scary. That's why I stopped talking there for a few minutes. Every so often, I'm just like, say something, Fluffy, or you just want to sit there and listen to us
Fluffy.
talk about how we could screw ourselves over.
Yeah, no, we've just been
No.
sitting here going on a tangent about our characters and what would hurt them the most. I'm sure none of it's gonna be used as fuel.
No, it's fine.
Don't worry, he's creating Matthew's character sheet.
To be fair, I
You know?
may have offered to send stories. It's fine.
This is fine.
Because I don't think that was never actually
Why?
covered, to be
Fair.
fair, and it was something I kind of wanted to do anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only
yeah,
ever hinted
sure.
on things with them. Nothing ever was, hey, this
Hey,
is
this
exactly what
happened."
happened. Yeah.
So this happened.
So it would have been brought up either way. It just being brought up sooner because all this conversation was brought up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I'm not ready for some of this stuff. Like,
I would love to
Uh,
make just a room of like where we write in all of our characters' backstories and their development in the campaign when it's done.
oh god.
Mm-hmm.
And like we'll take turns because we don't want to let you know somebody's paragraph getting mixed in between others, obviously.
Yeah.
So we'd have to be like, okay, you know, Aspire to do Rinn's or something. So we have to like do it in order.
Mm.
And then whenever she's done, somebody else goes in and, you know, just keep going like that.
And like, we don't even have to do like long drawn out paragraphs if we don't want to. We do like bullet points at that point.
If we want
Whereas
to, knowing
is
me
where
and
we started.
Aspire, we're gonna end up writing
Yeah.
out a fucking essay.
Honestly, I might as well because
But I would love
Or
to
like
do
when
that
you
as
work
like an
alone.
ending to a campaign. So instead of
Mhm.
like when we go to lock maybe all the Wythra chats and put it in an archive,
that's one of the final. That's one of the final.
that
things
could be
we
the
do
final
as far as-
chat where nobody
Hold
can
on.
post in.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
Same with Landar and any other ones that we like fully finish.
Sorry, I'm back. What was that? Or what I miss?
Oh, when we do eventually finish Wythra, a new chat going to be created as far as the progression of character development.
And I'll probably
throughout the
keep it
campaign.
hidden at first.
Until it's officially...
Until we've finished it, yeah.
Yeah. And like go one at a time.
So we technically could start semi-early, like when we know, okay, we got like 2 episodes left. We could already like get started, because we don't even have to post it, to be fair. We could actually
we just have it
write
written
now.
out somewhere and then be ready to post it when we need to.
Yeah.
See, I want to bring this up as far as a good thing to say. You know, the end of a campaign is hard for people because they're saying goodbye to their characters. It's really hard on the DM as well. Because they're saying goodbye to the world. And the characters.
That is fair.
And everything. So...
Which is why I like how Fluffy does his as a continuous.
It's rolling over into the next.
I
as far
love
as
that because
keeping
it's
it alive. It's like, I'm not going anywhere, mother. I'm still coming.
But I love that it always comes back. Like
Yeah.
anything we've ever done has always come back.
Speaking of coming back,
Matthew?
no, I was the.
Oh, okay.
You remember how you mentioned that we're talking about Striker with the wish spell, right?
Uh-huh.
I find it funny that it is in both instances of Wonderland a sword with wish that can be cast from it.
I
Fixed.
didn't even think of that.
Right.
It took a
Fuck.
sword with the fucking wish spell last time.
Mhm.
Oh shit, did it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, wow,
it was
that's-
specifically Lilia's reward because at the time,
Oh shit.
a wish was needed to save their sister from the item that bound to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I rolled a d4 to see how many wishes it would have, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, and it's same amount of wishes. Holy shit.
Fuck.
Dude,
Bruh.
me thinks something beyond the dice gods are with your campaigns.
I'm going to point out something here.
But the Raven Queen would have known that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know his isn't just a revamped version of that same weapon? And she almost...
You know.
She could have had, like, a sense that this would happen again.
Well, because you're saying people who do not pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
It's almost as if I planned it.
It's almost...
You
I know
didn't.
you didn't.
I know. I didn't. I just said
It's almost if we
almost as if I
planned
did.
it, which we know you didn't.
No, not at all. But it's
But,
amazing.
but it's beautiful
Nice
because you
try.
could play it off as you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also know Fluffy's not going to do that.
No.
Because he's going to admit, like, I didn't know.
I didn't
dice.
think of that at all.
Wow, fucking coincidence and all this shit here
And
lately.
mind you, he and Lilia kind of had the same morals, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't act the same, but Striker and Lilia have similar, like, traits.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lilia was also very protective of specific people.
Mm-hmm.
Great deal.
And see, the biggest reason that came, like, my thought of that came up, by the way, that it also hurts the DM just as much. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like nowhere near the end of Landar.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get to the end of it, ow,
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
it's gonna hurt like hell, man.
Any of them.
Mostly
I'm
because,
not
again-
looking forward to Wythra ending because
Huh?
it's gonna make me sad, but then I'm
Huh?
excited for Elendar.
Yeah, that's...
So it's like, conflict.
Well, because it's the thing of, yeah, you're sad about the ending, but you're super excited to get into the next one to pick up as far as... Because you know something's going to roll over from this one. It's like, just, the question is, what? What's going to roll over?
How much damage
What
are we gonna
did
do?
we not deal with in the previous
Exactly.
world?
Like, what did we forget?
everything at like the first half.
Oh Jesus!
Which comment did you piss off in this thing? That's
The barkeep.
The big bad.
The tavern owner.
It's fine. We just next campaign we're dealing with the cranky hermit guild. Let's go.
Jesus.
The big bad is the tavern owner and his half ogre companion.
Yep.
You know, that reminds me of like there was someone posted a story and it says story plot: an NPC who gets so tired of the adventurers that he ends up hiring goons and ends up like defeating adventurers, taking their stuff and their wealth to make it better, and then more and more people keep coming to try to like be murder hobos toward him, and then eventually he becomes the big bad accidentally becomes the big bad of a campaign. He was just like a farmer.
Speaking of farmers,
aren't bugging me.
Speaking of farmers, wonder how that guy in Ostros is doing.
He's fine.
You know,
Fun fact: Jess comes from a farming town.
Hey,
Nice.
It's just a little itty bitty village. That's all it is.
Was.
You know?
Was.
Oh,
Buzz. But
I
well,
need to
okay,
find out where that would have been and what it was called because it's not there anymore. Technically, just rubble.
fair. Fair. Something I want to point out to all of you because I tortured Aspire with it because I thought it was funny. Lord Lost is freed.
Mhm.
What town that you guys have come across in Landar so far is full of angry people because their goods are not traded in the capital? They're not allowed to be traded in the capital.
Okay, don't do that to us. I know that you're just fucking with us right now, but don't do that.
Am I?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying. Don't spoil
Don't worry,
too
he
much.
oh, I'm not. I'm about to say, honestly, I don't know if it's going to be that town first, anyways.
Oh, good. First, I
It
love
might-
that.
I like the first.
Well, because you might have a chance to stop it. Because
This
it's
is
you
fair.
guys.
Yeah, that is
It's
fair. We somehow magically fucking get through everything. I don't know how we pull off this bullshit, but we do.
Well, we do have Null.
It
I
doesn't
don't
even.
know how that helps or makes
I'm not even just thinking no. I'm also looking at Wythra. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck, man? How the hell do we get out of some of those situations when you know it wasn't in our favor?
Yeah.
Like, that fucking Wonderland fight,
Oh,
I
fuck,
didn't
man.
think any of us were going to survive that. That was some bullshit. And then somehow we turned it completely around.
Yeah.
You mean that Baylor fight?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, this is where Garthag's going to go down for the first time. Oh god.
I don't know if it was because of what Lucky did, trying to separate the thing and getting you all to attack the one thing.
Well, see,
Or
and I'll say
if,
it
like,
again.
it was just a random chance
Yeah.
that it worked.
And I'll say it again, that's why Garthag immediately went towards the Baylor. Because,
Yeah.
like, that needs to go. It's big, it needs to go.
Yeah.
And it's making friends longer.
Yeah, and it makes friends. It makes
I
friends.
mean,
Don't worry, they didn't have a high to hit, but if they hit, they poison you.
oh.
Which gives you a disadvantage. That was the
Oh,
main
shit.
part of those.
I could have gotten rid of the copies very easily.
Mm-hmm. They only have 1 HP.
well, yeah, but the
I could have cast Green
copies.
Flame Blade.
Uh-uh.
And Baylor is like immune to fire?
Let me dream, damn it.
To be fair, if it wasn't for the fact that, like, you guys were in the way, Lucky does have an AoE thing, but he has to draw a king to do it.
Ooh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 10 feet around wherever it hits.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it misses, it technically would still hit something. It
Yeah. I guess the
just
one
depends
other
on where it
thing for,
lands.
like, one other thing for taking out the edge with that would have been like, I I think the only thing Sirris could have possibly done would be like splitting her bolts, her Eldritch Blast bolts, but that she's already shit enough with hitting things with those for some reason.
You know?
When I looked at the situation, I was like, okay, this devil thing is not as big of a threat. I highly doubt it has as much HP. I highly doubt that it has. This was just the player going this thinking route. So when I made Lucky do what he did, he was more than willing to take a couple hits for that fight, just so you guys could defeat the other thing, because he knew once you all ganged up on the devil thing, it would have been done.
Well, see, and it's interesting you thought about it that way, because Baylor hit points wise much higher than Pit Fiend.
I never
No,
would've-
actually.
Really?
Oh, is it?
No, the Pit Fiend had 300. The Baylor has like 200.
Oh wait, it's opposite?
Yep, and the Baylor has
Oh,
2
God.
attacks, whereas the Pit Fiend has 4.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I think Lucky was more concerned when I was doing that plan of the multiplying.
Yeah,
issue.
I was like,
Yeah.
to be
As
fair,
squishy as a swarm is, a swarm's a swarm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say,
Because
I'll say,
Lucky
and
does
it's-
actually think. He was the thinker of the two. He was the survivor. He'll sacrifice himself, yes, but he also knows what's the best way to survive the situation.
yeah.
That's how he looks at it. Unless there's no other choice. Which is what I like about him.
And the Pit Fiend.
He's
let
not
him
like
do
Stalvark, who will just jump in, like, expecting to not survive it because he's trying to protect somebody.
Yeah. And the Pit Fiend learned, do not misjudge Lucky.
Yeah. I love, though, how Fluffy fucking did that when he was like, fuck you, and he's like, he turns to you. Well, that's...
That's the thing.
It has good hearing, guys.
Yeah. Fuck you. Snap.
Shit, he's onto us.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Pit Fiends don't talk out loud, do they? They speak fully telepathically.
I think they can talk out loud.
I think they only do Infernal out loud, though.
Yeah.
Let me see. Because now I'm curious. Because while they can hear you, it could have been sitting there trying to say something out loud and none of us would have known what he was trying to say.
Yeah, you know?
Rinn did.
Infer-
She knew the cuss.
Infernal. Yeah, Infernal and telepathy. That's it. Telepathy up to 120 feet.
Yeah. It did speak out loud, and it did speak in Infernal. And that's where he heard the lovely phrase.
What phrase?
I imagine if it was something that Striker taught her, it was probably something like motherfucker or something like that, you know?
You know?
Of just he had to censor himself in front of the kids, so that's what he started doing. Because they don't speak Infernal.
You know, it's
I
fine.
bet you
At
anything
least
he's
it's not
gotten
the
scolded.
complicated. Yeah. At least it's not the complicated process of swearing in Thieves' Cant.
Oh god! Which Striker now knows.
Yeah, it's
like-
funny, 'cause it's like takes like twice as long to say it in Thieves' Cant.
Oh, you see, my good fellow, it seems that this is a thing that must happen, and that go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All this for freaking 4 words. Or 3 words.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it can be done in multiple ways, like tapping or
Yeah.
signing, like maybe even like tracing something in someone's hand.
Yeah.
That's its main goal. And one of the things Breath was going to do, if it kept going for too long, would be like to kind of be like, hey, keep calm, but like doing it in Thieves' Cant, because she knows Sirris knows Thieves' Cant.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine she's probably aware Striker does now.
Oh yeah. She probably did it like once just to see who noticed it. Like, huh.
Yeah, because he learned it over the couple years with Sirris. That's the only reason. Which he got it by default from his class anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna say that he learned it from her because he didn't have that at the beginning. Because when they changed it, that was one of the things they added. Because I made the comment way back, I'm surprised he didn't have that, because he is technically a rogue-based character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ended up working out, but still.
Dude. That entire situation with the assassin sent after Lucky. That could have gotten so bad.
Yeah.
But it was also that day they learned, all right, when dealing with Galmil and possibly Cthulhu, my words need to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. I can only imagine like the sheer amount of distrust for Sirris after that if she actually got as far as was planned out.
Oh yeah, there was an entire plan to that. That would have been very interesting, and Striker would be a very different person right now.
Yeah.
Because that would have brought back a lot of memories that probably would have traumatized him.
You know.
Many hearts, my dude. Many hearts.
It's fine, don't worry about
Do.
And I've hit that point to where I become a boring individual because I am being hit by the tired.
Hey, to be fair, we can keep talking about what could scare our characters the most.
I think I've pretty much covered a lot of it. I mean, the Xander's was obvious. There was no hiding that happened this with the Wonderland thing.
See,
his fear has always been losing Sirris, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I imagine his kids, his family in general, has always been a fear. And then, of course, there was the other 2 people there. Or 3 people, because Victoria.
See, had it been a 1v1v1v1 in Wonderland, and Erembor and Garthag found out he was up against them, on the video screen you would have seen him throw his weapons down.
Yeah.
And say no.
It would be such a tough call because she would be fighting to get back.
I know. There's certain people that would have sacrificed and certain that would have fought, because I think even Rinn would have fought.
Yeah.
To get back to
Grail
Striker.
would have fought too.
Yeah, Grail. Lucky would
have fought.
Lucky would not have. I can guarantee that. Especially if he was pinned against Leah. No, he would have gave up and let her go.
Yeah.
Breath would have fought.
Yeah.
And there's kiddos and husbandos to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Leah would have done.
Probably depends on...
Roll me a d20, odds are even. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it would have been like, kind of like...
If
She would've
he
been
gave
torn.
up, and yeah, if he gave up in front of her, though, and let himself die because he didn't want to fight her, I wonder what that reaction would have been.
Oof.
He probably, actually, knowing Lucky, he probably would have also told her he was sorry or something.
Yeah.
And I imagine, like, with any one of them, like, if they, like, the survivor of that fight would be severely fucked up for a while.
That survivor's
Mhm.
guilt would
Oh,
be
most
so real.
definitely. Oh, indeed it is. Don't worry. Bye.
Blood on the hands. It's not a good time.
It's not.
I think this is done.
Oh dear.
Safe.
Oh, God.
Concern.
What did you
Much
create
concern.
there, my good sir? What did you create?
Don't
Yes,
worry.
we'll find out.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. What did you
Okay.
create?
Something
Okay.
terrifying.
Good.
I don't like that.
No, you won't.
I do not like that. I am the captain and I do not like that. Put it away. Put it away.
Considering this is something I don't know how well Garthag will be able to deal with it.
Oh,
Hmm.
that is concerning.
Hmm. I really don't like that. On one hand, I don't like that because you picked Garthag out of everyone. On the other hand, I don't know if you're saying that because
No,
Garthag big guy and don't
Oh,
know how
yeah.
you can deal with it.
he's a big guy.
Is that the reason, or is it specifically Garthag? I need
No.
to know.
It is. He is a big guy, and he's been like one of the harder ones to take down.
Fuck. Harder ones to take down? Oh no. It has nothing to do with the
there's
story.
certain people that are hard to take down,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I feel like it's about to go down a list of targets.
Yeah.
Garthag and Milv are two of the hardest to take down.
Alwin
Yep.
hasn't gone down at all.
All in two.
Oh, if he
Erembor.
wild shapes, he's a bitch to deal with.
Oh fuck yeah. Fucking druid wild shapes, man. Here's my response to that, by the way, Fluffy.
Fucking emote.
No! Going and then which rolls over to the movie.
Now I gotta change something on them too. This-
Why?
I have a token image I gotta make now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I give him that.
Just as
You
finished.
know? Nice.
That image is fucking adorable, okay?
He's so cute.
Why would one be afraid of her?
You should be.
Ah, it's fine.
To be fair, she could literally go murder hobo at any point in time just because she snapped in that moment of I hate this person all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's fair. And to be fair, Sarkis probably wouldn't stop her.
Depends on
You
the
know.
situation.
Well, situation depending, yeah. But if it's like an actual bad person, Starkis is just going to stand back and let her. Or help her.
Yeah, also, Fluffy, remind me at some point you and I need to have a discussion.
Okay, I'll remind you at some point.
Okay.
Hey, Fluffy, at some point.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Drag.
God damn it.
Fluffy, high five.
Yeah, it's just like I think let's go. Without Ethan, there are some details we need to work out.
Yeah, I feel like I don't like the whole Shadow Sister thing, by the way. Because Jess would be all for that.
You know, yeah. It's fine. Their abilities work in a similar way in appearances. It's great.
And it's murder.
Be not afraid, the shadows know me.
She likes the shadows.
I know, aren't they great? Don't you wish there was like an entire plane of this shit?
Oh, that'd be so cool! She wouldn't have any knowledge of this, to be fair. She's a smart individual, but she was not a study bug. She's that crazy smart of, like, you tell her to go kill somebody and she will sit there and, like, plan it. And then in her head it works.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. I am reminded at some point I need to study the fuck out of the Shadowfell.
I can send you a link.
You know, that would be appreciated.
You said the Shadowfell? I got you.
The Shadowfell. It's where her power is drawn from.
It's also one of the dark planes of D&D. It's fine.
It's fine. The queen has her domain there. Well, kind of a little, like, cut-off section of it.
Yeah.
Here, have a Forgotten Realms wiki page.
Sweet.
Have fun.
Now, I want someone's opinion on this picture,
Send it to me. I'll give you an opinion.
but I also want it to be kind of
Send it to me. I'll give you an opinion. Nah, fuck.
Do you want the opinion of someone who will forget it in 5 minutes?
This is a fair question.
It's a very fair question, man.
I kind of. I kind of want Fox's opinion on it because it's just.
Oh no.
You're an artist. You're an artist.
That's fair.
That's not why you want the opinion, though.
I'm also gonna send you Jess's token because it's done for you to pin for later.
You know what? I'm going to send these 2 images
Oh, 2 images. Okay.
I
because
don't like that.
I don't know which one I like better.
I don't like that either, but I'm gonna pin this for you for later.
Speaking of, did you see what I typed in chat, Fox?
Oh. Oh.
I kind of like the first one better.
I like the first one too.
Can I see what the second one was?
No.
You don't want to.
I mean, I do.
I'm not sure I wanted to, but I love it.
So Fox, did you see what I put in chat?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, as far as
There's a close-up of her picture now.
close up.
Yeah, she's not gonna listen.
Oh well. To this,
Miss
Nah,
Jessie,
that-
you don't need to keep calling me Mr. Sarkis or boss. Calling me Sarkis
I
will be fine.
will.
take this.
I need to get all this information here.
And murder.
Where's this? Because I'm done with the drawing, and I don't feel like drawing anymore. We've already been streaming almost 4 hours, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is fair.
I think it's.
Thank you guys for coming out to the
Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point.
nicest Derps. It's a good thing to do so often.
I think I would love to do this, like, if we could get together, even if not everybody can be there, just once a week, just
Mhm.
chat
Guys,
about it, since we do that in general anyways.
guys,
Huh?
we can make this a weekly thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, a
As
once
far
a
as
week thing.
Session recaps.
Oh,
Oh.
after the
Because
weekend?
Friday, Saturday, come back in Monday after everybody's had time to think about all the stuff. Get their, gather their thoughts about stuff. Talk about it as far as kind of like how Critical does Talks Machina, how they questions are like fans sending questions and stuff.
I can make a questions room.
Yeah, but I say we can
Just
have
start
questions as
writing
far
down.
as brought up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say we do something like that as far as that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Went back to the
Yo,
DMs and it's gone.
Yep.
Smooth move, Fluff.
I will.
Yeah,
You don't have them.
I need to get that scythe for you for things. The scythe is a nasty thing, but it's more of a... That's more of a necromancer weapon. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Which one was it under? Is it under this? No, that's not it. I didn't think to name them when I saved them, I just saved the pictures. And so it's just links. But I imagine the scythe will pop up in Elendar at some point, because brother weapon to the dagger.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be 4, but I was only able to get the 2 at the time.
Yeah.
But it works.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna start winding. I have to wind down myself because I work tomorrow anyways. So
This is fair.
Yeah, I
I'm-
think we're gonna end.
I'm glad this worked out. It actually kind of went through the whole character draw too, which is nice.
Yeah. If I hadn't
We should-
started the outline before stream,
Yeah.
it would have taken
Oh,
longer.
we should be going.
the outline, yeah. But like the coloring and then like the
Mhm.
everything, all that shading and all that, and that looks so good.
She's very pretty.
Indeed.
She is, but it's like there's also that you can see that look in her face.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not all there.
You know, she's cute and a little crazy. I could have some fun with this.
And I'm sure I'm not gonna make it any better.
Nope.
You know?
Yep, because there are things that can just make her suddenly go snap.
No wonky.
It's fine. It is fine. Don't worry. What is worse can happen? You're welcome. I love that. You're welcome, everyone, for me saying that. But thank you guys for joining us. This
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Massive thing of randomness.
We love
Bye, everybody.
you.
Bye, everyone.
This will be on YouTube as well.
yeah.